Ladies and gentlemen, it's football time.
It's the moment we all been waiting for.
College football is all the way back.
It's time.
Buckle in, baby, because we are going to hell of a ride.
I walk 47 miles of barbed wire. I got a Cobra smoke for a necktie. A brand new house all on the roadside. And it's made out of rattlesnake hide. Got a red gin that made me good on top. And it's made out of human skull. Come on, take a little walk with me, baby, and tell me who do you love?
This place is officially lit.
Who do you love?
There is a passion and a wildness. Only in college football. Death Valley roars to life for the win. Let's go!
Color, pageantry, tradition. These are the ingredients that make college football unique.
Look at this moment. To get real loud, folks. Buckle up and enjoy. Here we go.
It's prime time.
Look at him force his way.
What a catch. That is unbelievable.
I want football. You want football. Everybody wants football.
I don't know about you, but I love college football.
And if you do, you got to love this guy. Chief Osceola rode in on Renegade. It's not a Florida State home game, but it has some of the trappings that have the crowd edge. About a 3.5-hour drive away from the Seminoles' home. To Holly.
Hey, Coach, you talked repeatedly about the important traits your team was developing to become championship material. What traits do you need to see early here for success?
You know, manage the crowd. Obviously, a partisan crowd tonight. And then, listen, you're going to have to do the little things the right way. Can't have turnovers like we did last year in the opener. We got to make the little plays. As long as they settle into the game, do the little things the right way, we'll be fine.
Jaden Daniels, your quarterback, did well in the game with his legs. How has he evolved as a passer?
I think just confidence and poise. You know, those things take some time, and he knows our offense so much better. I look for him to have a great night.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Holly.
Last year's game in the Superdome was really compelling, really competitive, very sloppy, typical opening game mistakes. Both coaches expect their team to cut down on it. FSU to kick the ball away. Ryan Fitzgerald to boot it. Aaron Anderson, the speedster freshman from New Orleans, is deep for the Bayou Bengals. Fitzgerald drives it to the end zone, and LSU will start from the 25-yard line. Here is Jaden Daniels. Got better as the season went on, Kirk. A lot more from the structure of the offense. He plans to stay in the pocket. Doesn't mean he can't get out and really hurt the Noles with his legs.
I think we saw that last year. Early in the year, new system, new teammates, adjusting to the chemistry and the timing of those receivers. By the time he got to that second half of the season, most notably Alabama, he had settled in and become a completely different quarterback. And I think also the offensive coordinator, Mike Denbrock, adjusted to his skill set.
Doesn't make many mistakes. Only one interception for every 130 pass attempts last season. Play action on first down. Flipped out of the backfield. And the catch is made, and running free is Trey Bradford. Huge gain, still rolling down near the 20-yard line. Denbrock drew up a good one to start this.
Yeah, they catch Florida State man-to-man coverage. Linebacker here gets caught up on the backside of the tight end. Nobody takes the back out of the backfield. He slides on a rail route. See that linebacker's caught up with a tight end, Mason Taylor. Nobody there to pick up the back sliding out of the backfield.
55-yard gain right away here in the red zone. Daniels on the move, flips it short to Taylor, and the tight end makes a man miss and bangs down inside the 5-yard line.
Love this aggressive look by LSU, coming out, trusting their quarterback and attacking here. Get the ball into the playmaker's hands. Mason Taylor, of course, again, we saw what he could do as a young freshman last year when they won that game against Alabama. Here, get him on the edge, coming from the backside. Nice easy throw and easy read again for Daniels.
First and goal, a minute in. Handoff inside to Bradford, a guy who was not expected to be a huge part of the running back rotation. They're pretty deep in that area. right away, he makes the biggest play of the opening series.
And Mike Timbrot telling us this week they've got 3 backs that they'll use. Josh Williams, who's more steady Eddie, and Noah Kane, the transfer from Penn State, with Logan Diggs out. They're going to rely on Trey Bradford, who started at LSU, went to Oklahoma, came back, and you can see how fast he is out in space.
This is Josh Williams, the 200-pounder in the game now. Keeper Daniels makes a cut. He is wrapped up immediately on the edge by Patrick Payton. No gain, and it's 3rd and goal. A flag comes out on the tackle. Did they get over aggressive?
Well, that whistle blew, and they took him all the way to the ground right in front of the official. The head referee throws the flag.
Derek Anderson in charge of a Big 12 crew. Same conference that worked last year's matchup in New Orleans.
A lot of emotion out there early in this game. Payton makes a great play. Did not stop.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 11, defense. After this goal, automatic first down.
Yeah, instead of 3rd and goal to 5, they get a fresh set of downs at the 2.
And this defense aware, not the back, but the quarterback down inside that 10-yard line. Look at all those jerseys. They made the play. You got to stop. I mean, it's not that it was physical, malicious, but it was just so late they had to make that call.
Power formation. Was there a flinch before the snap? Couldn't tell. There is no flag, and Williams gets nothing.
Well, Florida State bowing up here. Now they got to do it 2 or 3 more downs, depending on what LSU decides to do. But making it tough on LSU in the interior makes you think, again, they're going to try to get Jaden Daniels out on the edge where he's got the ability to either run it in or find an open receiver.
Daniels surveying. Play clock down to 7. He's got to hurry here. Still motioning as it's 3-2. Does he see it? I don't know if he got it off. Throw in the end zone. It's incomplete. Broken up over there. Intended for Malik Neighbors. I thought it was a delay.
The thing that is frustrating, it was close to being a delay, Chris. I think he did get it off. He didn't put enough air under this. See how flat that ball is? Throws it right into the defender. Neighbors, as soon as the ball's thrown, he pointed up as if to say, put that up in the air. Give me a chance. Daniels that time usually throws that fade pretty well. He just threw it too flat.
Neighbors by far the top receiver on this team last season. Empty backfield. It's Williams motioning now from the slot. Big play early on. Can the Noles make a stand here and force a field goal attempt? Daniels has time in the pocket, delivers into the end zone. Catch made, but out of bounds. It was Neighbors working the back line, defended by Renardo Green, and now an early decision for Kelly. It's 4th down.
A great matchup between these two. Green's a really good defender. This time he just doesn't see it. You know, Neighbors is pointing. That right foot looked like it may have touched first. Let's look. He's already out of bounds. Left foot's already out of bounds, so it's a great call by the officials. They're going to go for it.
Marched right down the field, but it has been tough to get the last couple of yards. Neighbors comes in motion. 3 receivers to the right now. Williams is the back. Time running down, and they'll have to spend one. Did not like what they saw. Matchup against FSU's defense. So we'll take a break. Early drama here in Orlando. Fourth down from the 2-yard line. Daniels scanning, now trying to create. He'll be dropped back at the 15. The sack is made by D.J. Lundy. And the Noles make a tremendous stand. It was 1st and goal at the 2. They went backwards from there.
6 plays inside the 5-yard line. They bring the blitz. Adam Fuller says, you know what? We're going to be aggressive. Watch this job of coming after him. Josh Williams steps up to account for it. He goes right over top of him and then gets up off the ground, shows you the athletic ability and the desire to come up with that sack at a critical moment here early in this game. Great play by Lundy.
He's an amazing athlete. You'll see him at fullback on offense, blocking, running, and even catching the football occasionally. This time, the sack keeps us scoreless here. What a stand after the Bayou Bengals came out throwing haymakers in the first couple plays. Jordan Travis, in his first play of the season, zips it short. And the catch is made by Jaheim Bell, the do-everything transfer from South Carolina. They said they would get him involved early. He wasn't kidding. First play.
Very first play. Jordan Travis has got to be ecstatic about having a talent like Bell. You see the big numbers he had last year. Really has been around for 4 years. His 27th start tonight. To me, I think it's his composure that goes along with his ability to make quick plays and also be able to improvise.
On the run, where he's so dangerous. Zips it high. Trying to get the ball to Keon Coleman, another newcomer. It was Michigan State's top receiver a year ago. Just looks so much adrenaline there.
Well, first 2 plays, you see the transfers trying to get him the ball. Keon Coleman, Michigan State, and Bell from South Carolina. And when you talk with the Florida State coaches, I mean, those are the names outside of the Jordan Travis they want to bring up right away about what a difference these two have made with the potential what this offensive production can be.
So the most experienced offensive line in college football, 214 combined starts, by far the most. Who's going to win the battle up front? Here's a first clue here on 3rd and 5. Toafili is the back. LSU just rushes 3 and drops a bunch of guys into coverage, and he squeezes the ball into Johnny Wilson. The guy with a big wingspan, a red zone weapon, goes down low and makes a tough catch.
It goes in motion, creates man, finds a nice throwing lane. Good job. Usually the 6'7" guy, you think he's going to go up and over. That time he goes down low to make a nice catch for the first down.
Coleman comes across the formation, and they hand it off inside. Hard yards in there tonight. Harold Perkins made the hit.
To a Philly there running the ball. You'll see Benson come in. I mean, this offense is based on their ability to run the football. They want to be able to get your safeties down and run support, create the one-on-ones, and then attack downfield.
Travis, as you said, it's second nature. He knows so much about this offense. Very calm back there. They pick up the pressure, and again, finds Wilson in space, and that's a second first down catch for the big fella. Ball moves to the 46.
Yeah, he kind of, watch him look left, just kind of move to the defense. He knows he's going to come back to the big man at 6'7". Nice open spot there, and soft spot there in the zone. And again, that's what I love about Travis. He's known for his creativity, but he sits in that pocket when it's there and makes good decisions, quick decisions, and gets the ball out.
They fake it to Benson. He wants to take a downfield shot. Sets up, and it's Coleman, but he was inaccurate. There's a flag down. Coleman was wide open. Greg Brooks Jr. trying to cover him, but the throw was off target.
I think it might have been downfield where there was holding by LSU.
I think it might have been an offensive pass interference.
State, okay.
Pass interference, number 14, offense. 15-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Wilson, was he trying to clear out down there some space for his buddy?
I didn't see Johnny Wilson deliberately run into the defender. Like you said, he's trying to block. He thought that ball maybe was already out. I saw the reaction on the backside. Watch this. He runs right through him right there. I saw the defender grab on, but I did not see the initial contact that Wilson created.
Offensive pass interference is one of the most damaging penalties in the sport. 15 yards. It's usually a drive killer. 1st and 25 now. Benson follows some blockers, and Trey Benson, one of the toughest guys to tackle, one of the best in the country, Kirk, at yards after contact a year ago.
Well, and it's because of that lower body. He's one of the more physical backs in the ACC, and that time he had some great blocks up front. It's a veteran offensive line.
They got 11 on the first down run, so 2nd and 14. Benson moves to the slot. Travis escaping, trying to create, whips it downfield, and going up to try to make a leaping catch was Destin Hill, the freshman slot receiver. Couldn't quite.
I'll tell you, a big thing that we want to see is Harold Perkins, the linebacker, who last year made a lot of headlines with his ability to rush. They're trying to play him off ball. Here he is up top trying to get pressure. Pretty good job by Robert Scott trying to just push him, keep him upfield to give his quarterback time to throw. Pretty accurate throw. Nice job by Brooks getting that right arm in there.
Perkins, of course, became a pass rush monster. In this game a year ago, he played only on special teams and actually had a bad penalty. He blossomed into one of the SEC's most feared defenders. 3rd and 14. Play clock at 2. Travis flushed. Looking for help. Delivers underneath. It's Wilson again. And Wilson has now made 3 catches, all of them for first downs, to the LSU 40.
Well, this time you wondered where they would put Perkins. They spy him. He's not going to bring him here on 3rd down. They're going to spy with him. So he's got to try to keep that quarterback. Problem is he commits too far. Lets Jordan Travis create. And then they find the open man for that first down. They're all the way back to 1st and 25. He said potential drive killer, and they get the first.
Travis has been dialed in on 3rd down tonight. There's a slant on 1st down. Catch made by Coleman. Deon Coleman, his first touchdown as a Seminole. Strike. What a sequence for FSU. The goal line stand, and they score in their first possession.
Yeah, Florida State fans, this is what you wanted to see. Keon Coleman, the big receiver from Michigan State, 6'4", 215, getting isolated one-on-one. A heck of a throw right in front of him to give him a chance to make a play after the catch. You can see how nifty he is, even at 6'4", makes the safety miss, walks into the end zone for the touchdown.
Ryan Fitzgerald for the PAT. Florida State got kind of a silver medal out of high school. He chose Michigan State because of the turmoil in Tallahassee, but when things had settled down, he came to Mike Norvell, and he makes an instant impact. Florida State, first blood, midway first. Programs composed Heisman-winning quarterbacks, 3 of them for Florida State. And Mike Norvell told Jordan Travis when he was anything but an established starter, much less a star, go down there and look at the 3 Heisman trophies in this office's trophy case. There's no reason why you can't do that. It seemed far-fetched at the time, but he has blossomed to do exactly that, a contender. 86-yard drive in 9 plays after the 4th down stop of the Seminole defense. LSU has embraced this Sunday of Labor Day weekend. Of course, the matchup with the Noles the last couple of years. And check out what's coming a year from now in Vegas, September the 1st, Sunday Labor Day. I like that one.
About that.
USC off to a great start. Caleb Williams, he might throw for 100 touchdowns this year. And they might need a lot of points to keep winning, by the way.
How much fun is the Pac-12 in their last year going to be this year with what Colorado did the other day? Oregon State today looking great. We knew they had a good team. And, of course, the others. You've got 7 teams right now that are legit.
5 in the top 8 teams. You saw Utah beat the Gators on Thursday. Undefeated so far. Daniels escapes, makes a cut, and somehow eludes traffic. Looked like he was going to get knocked down behind the line. He makes 2 before Patrick Payton got him.
Pretty good push that time up the middle. Joshua Farmer. Big fella showing some strength to force Jaden Daniels out of that pocket. LSU going fast here.
Daniels gets it off just before he's hit. And the catch is made there by Brian Thomas. you're going to have your eye on Daniels, so see if he hangs in the pocket a little more patiently this year.
Add in trying to hit the bigger throws downfield. One thing they learned about him, they love to spread defenses out and just let 5 play in space. Let him make quick reads, and either has the option to make a good throw, or with all that space, he can take off and run.
Noah Kane, the former Nittany Lion, is in the backfield now. Gets the football and runs right into a Garnett wall. Nothing for Kane that time. The Noles are sending a message. It's going to be tough to run up the middle on us tonight.
I'm telling you, that front, go back to that goal line stand that they made. That front stepped up, showing a lot of physicality in the interior.
There's Braden Fisk, the fella from Western Michigan that everybody wanted out of the portal. You had him. You got Fabian Lovett from Mississippi State. Tatum Bethune comes over from UCF. He's been a stalwart leader of that defense.
Fisk a monster in there in the middle.
Off inside again. They're trying to be patient with the running game, but that's Bethune filling that time, and it's going to be 3rd and long.
When you have Fisk and Lovett, and you're able to rotate others inside there, I think you think about the experience that they have at linebacker. Adam Fuller, talking to him in their 4th year now in Florida State, you could see the intent to try to become more physical. It's not just the athletic ability on the edge and the defensive backs. It's, I think, where they are right now at the line of scrimmage that makes them a real threat as a defense.
Noles rotate in their pass rush package on 3rd and 7. Daniels against the 4-man rush, does have time, gets the ball out, and the catch is made. 1st down across midfield to Malik Neighbors. Guy who went on to have a monster year as a receiver, but this is kind of a redemption game for him. He mucked 2 punts a year ago. They were crucial in the loss.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's fired up for this opportunity. Great route, good job coming back to the ball, and there's the timing. That's the difference in LSU a year ago when they played in this game and where they are now. All those reps, the time that Jaden Daniels has had to work with Malik Neighbors, you can see there on the 3rd down, that timing was perfect.
Josh Williams, he took a look at the back and then sprints up the middle, and Daniels knifes into the secondary. 1st down inside the 35. Holly.
Well, guys, after that last goal line stand, the Florida State defensive line came to the sideline. They were fired up. They think the right guard of LSU and the right side of that line is vulnerable. Look for them to keep attacking right there on that right side. Jared Verse and DJ Lundy pointing that out to their teammates.
Jared Verse, if given half a chance, could be a game wrecker for the Seminoles. Number 5. He was a monster a year ago in this game. Daniels calmly in the pocket and delivers a poor throw over the head of Josh Williams, who had a lot of space. It's a little bit keyed up. That was a potential big gainer. Two-by-two look. Bradford is the back. Daniels looks and finds a receiver on the edge, and that's Kyron Lacey. And Lacey weaves his way down near the goal line. Stopped just short. Dynamic with the football. Made that a much bigger play than it looked like it was going to be. Slipped the tackle.
Showed great balance, and what a throw there by Daniels. And the effort here by Lacey. Gets the hand down. Jarian Jones trying to bring him down. That heel stays up.
Noles defense wasn't set. They play fast and score. Trey Bradford barrels in. And the Bayou Bengals answer with a 75-yard drive.
Yeah, and I think we were taking a peek just to make sure that heel was up. And to me, on that replay, it was. Not that it matters. They get the snap off and a touchdown. This time they're able to punch it in. But what an effort. Let's remember that effort there by Kyron Lacey. What he did to not just catch the ball, but fight for those extra yards to take them down near the goal line.
It's the receiving core of LSU. Of course, minus Keishawn Boutte that needs to step up. They're looking for better production from that position group.
I really like their group. I mean, Neighbors gets most of the headlines, but Brian Thomas, you see what Kyron Lacey can do. They've got an Alabama transfer and Aaron Anderson. They've got a pretty good group. You throw in Mason Taylor at tight end.
Damian Ramos, of course, who had that PAT blocked by the Noles a year ago to preserve the one-point victory. Also had a field goal blocked in the second quarter. The only 2 blocks he had all year came against Florida State. So nothing is automatic, but this one is up and good. Well, we told you this could be fun. Here was the play before the touchdown.
Yeah, again, let's take a close look. Heel stays up, stays in bounds, gets him down all the way near the goal line. And then this time the offensive line opens up enough room to allow Trey Bradford into the end zone to tie this game up.
Degrees. Pleasant compared to what these teams endured in training camp. This is almost like Arctic conditions, right?
That's what they were telling us down in the field before the game. They said, thanks for bringing the cold front in. You know, I'm sweating.
Kickoff driven to the end zone. Impressive opening drive. Mike Garvell calls the plays. Kirk Inscription. There were 2 runs and 7 passes by Travis.
Yeah, a heck of a job here with what Florida State did. You can see Travis sitting in a pocket, making some good reads, getting the ball to Big Johnny Wilson. When he needs to extend it, he's as good as there is. Even with the spy that time by Harold Perkins, still finds Wilson again. And then the touchdown to another big receiver, a transfer from Michigan State, Keon Coleman, making the safety Sam miss and then into the end zone.
Wilson, Coleman, and Bell were featured in the drive. None of them began their career at Florida State, but that, of course, is the new normal in the sport.
They've been playing a lot from the pocket, a lot of in-breaking routes, slants, digs, crossing routes.
Delay, and it's zipped and it's dropped up there. That's been one of the knocks on Wilson. He'll make the acrobatic tough catches and sometimes will drop the easy one. He's worked a lot on that in the offseason.
Yeah, it just felt like he knew the ball was coming. They brought that corner blitz. Good job by Jordan Travis. They were on the same page. I think he just started to peak a little bit, started to look downfield, worried about that safety coming up to hit him in Major Burns.
Travis scans and rolls and flips it short. That's Benson out of the backfield, who was spun down at the 33 after a solid gain. Set up 3rd and 3. Omar Spates, former Beaver, made the tackle.
Oh, he was very close to being about a yard downfield, and they had offensive linemen to set that up. They were 10, 12 yards downfield, so they catch a break there.
Keeper, and Travis lowers the shoulder, but he didn't get there. Stopped about a yard short of the marker by Greg Brooks and Harold Perkins, and it's 4th down.
A great job by Greg Brooks anticipating that, and that was a heck of a collision. The safety coming up to meet him right around that 1st down marker, but gets there because he reacted so quickly right there, goes in low and prevents the 1st down.
Noles fans got excited for a second. They thought the Norvell was going to keep the offense on the field, but not from the plus or minus 34. Alex Mastromano, 4th-year punter. Didn't have much work last year. Noles were so effective, they didn't have to punt it too often. Gregory Clayton is back to field it for the Bayou Bengals, and it's driven deep by Mastromano, the Aussie. Risky overhead catch by Clayton, who falls down as he makes it at the 15-yard line. Booming punt.
Remember, Neighbors last year had some issues, so that's a sore spot for LSU. This time, at least he caught it. At least he caught it barely, but he caught it.
51-yard punt. Yeah, this is Malik Neighbors' lowlights, and he had a lot of highlights, but steps up. Muffled one was right in the breadbasket. That set up a score. He didn't get fired at that point. Dropped another one, and after that, the job went to other people. He went to the job of catching touchdown passes.
But as you said, to his credit, he didn't go in the tank. He used that and really went on to turn things around and have a heck of a year, 2022. Have a lot of people excited what he's going to do this year.
Daniels across the middle, and a flag comes out. It was Neighbors running a route and defended by Green.
He looked like he got a hold of maybe had left arm. Right.
Pass interference. Number 8, defense. ball replaced at the spot of the foul. Results the first down.
See, right there, the hand on the jersey. Oh, yeah. Good call. Great call by the official.
And very easy to see.
Yep. Yep. Told you, remember that play in the back of the end zone? That's going to be a good matchup, 8-on-8.
Green, the senior from right here in Orlando. Big night for him. Go to the sidelines. Aaron Anderson is a speedster, a very small guy to New Orleans. They knocked him down. LSU wants a flag, and now it comes in late. Kevin Knowles shoved the Knowles.
Yeah. You got Brian Thomas out there trying to block with Mason Taylor. I think Thomas held on to his guy as the ball started to break to the outside of him.
This crew, Derek Anderson, they worked a game here in Orlando on Thursday nights. Crosstown, UCF, Kent State. They got our schedule Thursday, Sunday.
And Chris, you may have also setting a late hit there as well. That's what got Brian Kelly worked up.
I thought that's what the flag was.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a hold there or not. Could it? They have offsetting.
There's only one foul on the play.
Okay.
There's no foul for offensive holding.
Wow.
After the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds. Number 3 of the defense. 15 yards added to the end of the play. First down.
He's got a great NAS name to play for Florida State, but that is a costly penalty. He's going to move the football.
Yeah. Brian Thomas, to me, when you saw him working outside, just trying to pick up a block, I think when the ball bounced outside of him, potential hold right there. Got to hold it.
Go.
Yeah, they let that one go, but then he gets hit out of bounds right here.
The late hit out of bounds, a good call. The offensive holding call, it was borderline. Didn't have any effect on the play, so I'm okay with them picking that flag up.
Well,
no
it would have been offsetting if they called it.
Well, you would have had a live ball foul and a dead ball foul, so you would have enforced both.
Ball near midfield. Daniels looking to throw on first down. Checks it down, and Lacey, this time he cannot escape the tackle. It's made by Greedy Vance.
Knowles doing a pretty good job mixing up coverage and getting some pressure on Jaden Daniels where they can play zone. Not have to worry about playing man-to-man. You can see after that play, defender had a few words towards that LSU bench. Grady Vance looking over at Brian Kelly had a few words for him.
Brian Kelly's not afraid to give it back. Vance is a Louisiana guy, so you know he's going to be keyed up playing LSU. The Louisville transfer. Daniels goes across the middle, and that's Brian Thomas, and he spins free. Not great tackling so far by the secondary of the Knowles tonight, and now another flag comes out. This thing is overheating quickly.
Well, Thomas makes a great effort, and then you have J. Thomas with the big hit late.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 54 defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And they got Byron Turner, so a second personal foul in the series moves the ball inside the 25.
Yeah, it's actually not on the ball carrier. It's right there. So
yeah, he just threw Lacey to the ground.
Yeah. Threw him or ran through him.
Wow. Lack of poise by the Seminoles in this series have just given LSU quick scoring position. 30 yards and penalties. They've gained 33 with the offense. Play clock at 5. Daniels still has it. Still has it. Tries to jump over people and gets absolutely hammered to the ground. Met in midair by Bethune, who just drove him down. Maybe not do that as a quarterback in the middle of the field.
Yeah, I know he's an athletic guy. It's the last thing you want to do is go airborne right into the middle of that defense, right into the arms of the middle linebacker. He times it up perfectly and gets a great hit. A freebie on Jaden Daniels.
Villamagna waving off. Any talk of a targeting there?
Well, he's a runner, so he's not defenseless. And there was no crown of the helmet with a launch into his head. So good no call.
Seconds running down in this eventful first quarter. See if they get the playoff. Just Daniels for the end zone. Looping throw. Incomplete. No chance to make a play. Double coverage there. Neighbors, a heck of an effort. So LSU threatening. 7 apiece in Orlando. Good first quarter between these two heavyweights. Each have landed some shots so far. In bowl games, separate bowl games played on this field a year ago. 3rd and 7 for Daniels in this penalty-aided drive.
5 penalties, 53 yards in a quarter. I know Mike Norvell is not happy about that.
3 Kirk on this drive. Williams has it in the hole, and they run for it and almost get it. Did he get knocked down short? Braden Fisk right near the marker. Will they spot it? Looks like it's going to be short.
Left side of that offensive line opens that counter up. Will Campbell, the left tackle. Remember him last year as a true freshman. Really came on to have a great year. Now in his 2nd year as a starter on that left side. Just opened that hole up and gives him a chance here now on 4th and 1.
And here we go. Another 4th and short. As it was the sack by Lundy that snuffed out the first threat. 2 tight ends to the left. Instead, it's Daniels with a keeper, and they swarm him. Another 4th down stop by the Seminoles. Shaheem Brown made the tackle. They were ready for the keeper.
No doubt about it. And again, they had prepared all summer, concerned about the quarterback's ability right here to get to the outside, and watch Florida State's defense doing a really good job having awareness. Tight end Taylor comes around, but nobody is there on the outside to be able to deal with that extra man. The safety had walked himself up. Shaheem Brown, 38 off the edge. See that? Nobody there. He had the option, if he had time, to throw it out into the flat, but by the time he wanted to throw it to Taylor, that defense had him down.
Looks like that might be a self-destructive drive for the Noles defense. Those 3 penalties set up LSU, but another 4th down stop. They'll take over about the same position they did after stopping the Tigers in the first quarter at the 15. Benson from the pistol. They fake it to him. Daniels is clobbered. Just gets the ball out. And the catch is made by Kyle Morlock. Mekhi Wingo is there in a hurry.
Woo! With Mason Smith out, you knew that this big guy in the middle right here would have to make a lot of plays. Mekhi Wingo was an All-American last year, stepped up with Smith down. He's doing it again tonight. Just so quick off the ball. 6'1", 295 pounds. Not the biggest, but shows you there how quick he is in the middle.
Big fella wearing number 18, and that means a lot at LSU. Benson knocked down. Of course, it was Matty Mock, the championship quarterback, who wore 18. Then it was Jacob Hester after that, and it's kind of given to a guy that has great effort and outworks everybody, and they gave it to Big Wingo this year.
Yeah, within that program, that's an incredible honor. That and number 7, of course, is such a great history. Had a chance to see Tyrann Mathieu on the field before the game with his family. So proud to be a great former player for these LSU Tigers. That's every time he gets a chance, he's here.
3rd and 5. Coleman motions out to the right. Travis scanning, flips it up underneath, and the catch is made by Toafili, who snuck out of the backfield in traffic and gets a 1st down catch.
You better get after him. This offensive line does a good job, and they do such a good job, it becomes backyard football. I mean, instead of taking off, he gives you the threat, kind of froze Harold Perkins, giving you the threat, drew him towards him, and then the vision downfield to make a nice throw.
If you're an opposing quarterback, you're happy to see number 4 in coverage, where he's just average. Getting after the passer, he's all world.
Yeah.
Tom Toafili takes the handoff and drives forward for about 3.
It's a good point. I think a lot of people are curious to see how they're going to utilize Perkins, because like I said last year, he was electrifying. You know, he had made so many big plays, but keep in mind, last year he was being an athlete and learning the system on the fly. They kept him on the edge an entire offseason to learn how to be an off-ball linebacker. He's a guy that played high school running back, defensive end, so he's learning how to play that position. They'll still put him down on third downs when they can.
Yeah, he is incredibly efficient. He didn't have a whole huge number of pass rush snaps last year, but he made an impact a lot of the time. Second down run. Benson tries to pick his way. There wasn't much there. Gets about a yard. It'll be third down and medium again, and Knowles fans wanted a flag that time.
LSU's defense starting to get a handle on things. Matt House, the defensive coordinator, outnumbering them there on that play on second down. Greg Brooks came down for the threat of the quarterback coming off the edge, and then the big fellas in the middle took away that inside run.
House wants improvement on the third down defense this year. They were 39% last year. Not bad, but that didn't meet his standard. Coleman motions across. Travis. Oh, another drop. Oh, my goodness. Johnny Wilson, for the second time tonight, has had an easy catch, and he had space that time to move the sticks.
They see Perkins forward. They don't rush him. They're using him more as a spy. But again, I mean, Johnny Wilson's a great player. But we saw what he could do last year when he came over from Arizona State, averaged 21 yards of reception. Everybody excited about what he can do. And I think when he goes into the interior there, he's taking his eyes off the ball, maybe worrying about getting hit. Another critical drop. Hands kind of seem to be a little bit backwards there, trying to make that catch.
So the drop is a drive killer, and Mastromano hits it high. And coming up to make a fair catch, another muff. The scramble for the football. The Florida State team has it. LSU thinking, oh no, not again. It's recovered by Azaria Thomas. But that time, it was Anderson trouble feeling the punt. Wow.
Chris, you wonder if LSU talked at all about, hey, last year, the special teams issues. You talk about something to a point where it can become something you'd start to mentally worry about. I know the fans and the media know all about it, but internally, I'm sure Brian Kelly's trying to put that behind them. But LSU, the miscues from a year ago come back to haunt them here and give Florida State great field position.
Remember, you talked about Gregory Clayton the last time making a very risky catch down inside the 10. They took him off and put in Anderson, who also handles the kickoff returns. And that muff sets up Travis at the 22. Travis had to pump fake, throws it into traffic, and gives it right back to LSU. Poor decision, and Deuce Chestnut, the Syracuse transfer, made him pay.
Well, this play got blown up because Greg Brooks brought a blitz from out here, and it creates hesitation for the quarterback. When he sees the blitz, he sees it, nobody there to pick it up. He wanted to get the ball out quickly. But I don't think he and the receiver are on the same page. He pumped fake, tried to buy time. By the time the receiver starts to look, he had to force it. He should have just thrown that ball away or eaten it instead. Throws it into traffic for the pick.
Both starting corners for Brian Kelly are from the portal. Zay Alexander from Southeast Louisiana. Deuce Chestnuts from Syracuse. They had a 5-star transfer from A&M. Denver Harris is still trying to figure some things out. He was expected to contribute as well. He's not with the team. So back-to-back turnovers, and the Tigers have it at the 26. Daniels zips it short, and Kyron Lacey couldn't come up with it. Tried to turn upfield and lost the handle.
Nobody happier than Aaron Anderson to that interceptions made by Chestnut. Get the ball back to Jaden Daniels and the LSU offense.
You think LSU will calm the tempo down a little bit as they're doing here? Or do you expect them to crank it?
I think it'll be a mix. I think it'll be depending on where they are in the field and how the game's going to flow in the game.
Daniels still's got it on the edge. He's got a blocker. He's got space, and that's just easy yardage for the quarterback, sprinting out a couple of yards short of the marker.
Yeah, that's the threat that he brings. Anytime you get him on the edge, everybody we've ever dealt with that tries to defend him, they always talk about the outside edge. You know, got to keep him in the pocket. We got to respect the rush lanes. Try to squeeze him. We don't want to let him break contain because of how much damage he can do once he gets outside.
Daniels with the most productive passing first quarter he's ever had in his career, 151 yards. He's also been able to run for 13 yards. That time it's batted up and falls to the turf, but pass rush right in the face.
Again, only 4. That time Patrick Payton with his length, great length, 6'5", just goes up. Great athlete, able to time that up perfectly to knock it down.
And the Noles come up with another stop. They've had the 2 4th down stops. And now a 3rd and 2. Impact player off the edge, and as you said, he's long. Miami native, Miami Northwestern, a great high school program. Jade Bramlett to punt it. Not particularly good. It's going to bounce and get a nice LSU roll. And it's Coleman, who did not come up and field it. He was not a punt returner at Michigan State. He's new to the roll, and that was not what they're hoping for, as it rolls dead all the way down at the 1-yard line, about a 65-yard punt. This is a uniquely cool moment. The brother of a referee, Derek Anderson, is Colonel David Anderson of the Louisiana National Guard. And he was piloting one of the F-15s in the flyover. Look at the pride in his face. That is awesome. We know it's your bro, Derek.
That's great. You don't see that very often.
Well,
fly over with the referee.
That's awesome.
Great.
Harold Perkins, by the way, in the opinion of this officiating crew, touched that punt. Keep an eye on right there. Did he touch his leg? And they spotted the ball down through 8, calling it dead there. I don't know that it's super clear that it hit him in the leg, but it's the difference between the 1-yard line and about the 8-yard line. So FSU going to take it.
Looks like.
Line. Replay has looked at that and determined that there was no touching. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. It'll be first down, Florida State at that spot.
Perkins said, yeah, I didn't get that. Good use of replay.
Hey, that's a big deal. I mean, you started to reference that. There's a really good shot there. The first shot, you're right, you really couldn't tell. That one you can tell. Great job by the guys upstairs calling that down. And if you're an LSU fan, it's a huge deal to put this Florida State offense now inside the 1-yard line.
Perkins just kind of galloping around the football. He came close about 3 different times, but didn't touch it.
Look.
So Travis got to be very careful.
He's got 3 tight ends in the game here.
They haven't had much success interior running game so far. Benson gets about a yard.
I mean, we honestly could just keep a camera on Mekhi Wingo the entire game. I mean, he is getting a push. And what I love is he's doing it with his get off. Every single time in the interior, if you're watching this game, watch big number 18, how quickly he gets off the ball, putting a lot of pressure on the inside here, this Florida State offensive line with Maurice Smith in there at center.
He's always good, but I think extra inspiration wearing number 18 for the first time. Quick story on how meaningful that is, by the way. So Afili blocking, and Travis gets the ball out quickly. You know, Howie Roseman, the GM of the Eagles, said that they actually drafted Benny Logan in the 3rd round in part because he wore 18. They figured what he meant to LSU. That's the kind of guy you want in the locker room. Not that he couldn't play, but that was actually a factor.
No, and I think it's, first of all, how he does his homework, and he understands, you know, the DNA of these college programs is pretty obvious. He goes into Athens quite often and finds some great players, but I think that just shows you the respect, and what that 18 represents is not just a great player, but an incredible leader, a guy that brings a lot to that locker room, and Wingo is definitely that guy this year.
See if LSU can get off the field here on 3rd and 4. Jaheim Bell, slot left. They haven't involved him since the opening play, and one of those pre-snap delay a game. They didn't get it off quite in time.
They got the timeout, I think.
Did they?
Yeah, Mike Norvell from the sideline.
Prior to the snap, timeout, Florida State. This is their first of the half. Timeout on the field.
Penalty saves about 4 yards.
Whenever you hear that fast clap, that means hurry up, center, get the ball back. Let's go. You can see his hands. Bring it, bring it, bring it.
Come on, Maurice, come on. Oh, they spend the timeout.
Over 1 million RVs sold. And in part by Jersey Mike Subs. Be a sub above.
Both teams have some crystal balls in their trophy, but this Dr. Pepper National Championship trophy is the coveted prize this year. LSU's last 3 head coaches have won national championships. The only program that can say that. So no pressure on Kelly at all. Off the timeout. Some time to think about this 3rd and 4. Empty backfield. LSU crowding the line will lay it back out. If they rush 4. Travis on the end zone. Pocket collapsing. He just lofts it into the air. And Greg Brooks had a great chance to pick it off. And the usually posed quarterback has made a couple of shaky decisions tonight.
Yeah, we saw the interception on the last series in here. And again, you got to admire he wants to make a play, but there's just nothing here. The only rushing forward, the pressure comes from his right. You know, instead of just throwing this ball away, he throws it up into the air as he's getting hit. It just kind of into the middle of the defense. They're about to intercept that ball at the 10-yard line. Somehow it falls to the ground.
Late, over the middle, and softly thrown. That's 3 no-nos. Estramano from his end zone. Boots it. Clayton back returning punts. They excuse Aaron Anderson from that duty for now. And the cheer from the LSU faithful are cheering the successful. Both defenses have stepped up, Kirk, since the opening touchdown for their opponents.
And what's been amazing tonight has been the Florida State short yardage defense. 6 plays inside that 5-yard line. They bowed up. Had a heck of a 4th and goal when they ended up blitzing here with DJ Lundy. Good job there. And it's really just been LSU moving the football, but Florida State short yardage defense being the difference.
Yeah, Bayou Bengals run a lot of plays in Seminole territory, but just the 1 touchdown. Now they take over near midfield. And he escapes. And Daniels right down the middle of the field. Makes a man miss. And is finally dragged down at the 11. He's electrifying.
Watch the right guard here, Miles Frazier. Good job here being able to come up, help out, get up to that 2nd level. He cuts right behind that. Really good natural feel there by Jaden Daniels. You can see what he could do in the open field.
More rushing yards than any FBS quarterback a year ago, almost 900. 40 more in that play. Now finds Mason Taylor. And don't look now, but LSU's close again inside the 5.
And if you're an LSU fan, this is what you're used to seeing. Jaden Daniels makes the play with his legs. They go a little bit of tempo. Ball gets out quick. Mason Taylor out in the flat, positive yards. Now again, we just showed you a package on that Florida State short yardage defense and what they've been able to do tonight. See how it plays out here.
First down markers at the 1. 2nd and 3. Kane is in the game. Straight keeper. Daniels fights down near the goal line. Doesn't get there, but it's 1st and goal before Jerry and Jones stopped him.
I'm just glad to see him get up. He kind of fell awkwardly there as he went airborne, kind of landed backwards into that Florida State defense. Worried about his legs, but good to see him up. They get that 1st down, and instead of running the backs, they run the quarterback. Get that extra blocker.
This time they hand it to Kane, and he's hit immediately, and once again, that Seminole defense stout on short yardage. Omar Graham stopped him.
Good job of filling this defensive line, submarining, eating up those offensive linemen, free those backers to get downhill.
Kane again, this time he dives into the end zone, and LSU takes the lead. Making use of that great field position, 50 yards in 4 quick plays. The 40-yard quarterback run sets it up.
This time, the clicker, the AT&T 5G. Watch how they just are able to go up and over. Look at that left side, just collapse down, push it down, give him room to go up and over. I respected Jaden Daniels there on the outside, keeps the edge free. And finally, LSU is able to get some points of being inside that 5-yard line.
They look to Kane, short yardage situation, scored 10 touchdowns a year ago. And LSU with 6:02 before halftime has taken the lead for the first time. Electric long distance run and then a power run.
Next Saturday on ESPN, Texas and Alabama. Coach Sark going to join us at the half. Chris, back to you.
Boots it away. Let's get the Affleck trivia question for you. Last season opening win versus a top 10 opponent. So season opening win
versus a top 10 opponent.
LSU wasn't top 10 a year ago. They got the W. There's Perkins in this LSU defense. They have gotten Jordan Travis a little rattled, Kirk. 3 for 6, 16 yards and an interception in that second quarter after a very efficient start to this game. Pressure off the edge and the completion hit behind the line over there is Coleman. Juice Chestnut with the tackle.
Good job of reacting. He's the one that came up with a big interception. This is what I want to take a look at. Look at all these plays LSU's had in Florida State territory. 19. Of course, we've had some goal line stands. Florida State only 2.
Behind the 6 on second down. Travis has time now. Chooses to use his legs. He's got good speed too. Slides down. Knowles fans wanted a late hit, and there is no flag, but the tackler, Ovia Hufo, is still down on the field.
It's a good job here of not forcing it. The last couple of series, he's forced the ball. He has an open receiver there to the outside, Keon Coleman, but I think he's a little hesitant of trying to force that throw. That's what the fans are excited about. They wanted that late hit right there. Bill, what do you think of that call?
I think because he went down late and it wasn't that hard of a hit,
yeah,
I'm good on passing on that.
I'm with you.
It was Chestnut who got slid into by Hufo, so the guy has been so effective at corner tonight. He's being looked at by the athletic trainers. But, you know, I think it's probably was a surprise for Mike Marvell. We talked about the experience of Jordan Travis. This is his 38th game. He's played 6 years of football, 28 starters. And after a sharp start to this game, all of a sudden the decision-making appears a little foggy for him right now.
Yeah, over the last couple of series, he looked great early. I mean, he was playing the way he expected to play. Now I want to see how he reacts to a couple miscues. You know, like I said, he had Keon Coleman breaking free to the outside there, and instead of making that throw, he held on to it. Right, this is a veteran guy. This 27 career starts, played a lot of ball. He's been around 4 years. I'd be shocked if he doesn't settle in, but big part of that is you got to respect what LSU is doing defensively too.
Ashton Stamps, a true freshman corner, is in for Chestnut on this 3rd and 6. LSU backs out. Now late pressure off the edge. It's picked up and a dart across the middle. And that time, big fella makes the catch, and Wilson dragging folks into LSU territory. That was a much-needed conversion for this Knowles offense.
And a great job by this offensive line. This time, forget the dual threat. He's a quarterback sitting in a pocket on 3rd down under duress. But the line helps him out. Good read and a good throw.
And here's a flag pre-snap. They go back to Wilson, whose 2 drops have been part of FSU's offensive drop-off.
Number 53, offense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
I'm going to have to feel good after a couple of easy ones got away from Wilson. Chestnut, by the way, quickly back in the game. And it's important for LSU fans to have their starting corner.
You pick up a big 1st down like that, you get a little momentum, and then 5 yards back with the center flinching there. Now it's 1st and 15.
Travis flushed again. Runs to his left, makes a throw across his body, and that's another drop This time it's Jaheim Bell who had a lot of space. Wingo was after the quarterback again.
Yeah, Bell is a playmaker. They're trying to find ways to get him the ball, and it's a great job. Eyes downfield. He's about to give up on the play, but at the last second, he sees Bell clean at the second level, and he just loses it. Third drop. Saw 2 from Wilson earlier. These are their better players, and now Jaheim Bell drops that. Would have been a first down.
All of them easy drops when they're in space and had room to run. Rodney Hill rotates in a tailback on 2nd and 15. They fake it to him. Travis gets around the corner and will just dart out of bounds after a short gain. No one open there. Chestnut forced him out. 3rd and long.
You know, it's not just about defending the run in the middle of this LSU defense and what they're doing without Mason Smith. Wingo leading that charge. It's getting penetration, even in pass protection. It's forcing Florida State to move that launch point. So when you move the quarterback, you take away a lot of the field. He's working with half of the field, and they're doing a good job of taking away those receivers and forcing him to run.
You need 12 on 3rd down. LSU rushing only 3, playing coverage. Travis has plenty of time and delivers a shot in the middle to Winston Wright Jr., the transfer from West Virginia. They didn't come after him, and he made him pay.
They show pressure. They rush 3, sit back with 8 in coverage. Nice job of having the time, and there's a really good throw by Jordan Travis, finding that hole in the zone. It took some time there, but they were able to hit it.
Shows his poise and experience, what you expect there. 18-yard gain to convert the 3rd and long. On the move again. Goes back to his left and drops it off underneath. And the catch is made by one of those fine tight ends, Kyle Morlock. Pick up about 7. Wingo's after him again. They can't block him.
No, he's a handful for a lot of people, and that's been the case tonight. You know, Bell gets most of the attention, 6 from Florida State, but Morlock coming over from shorter, and you were saying shorter. You know, you talk to the coaches.
Happens to be in Georgia, Division 2.
Yeah, but they're as excited about what he can do, so the combination of those 2 tight ends can really help this offense.
Benson stutter steps and plows forward. He's short of the marker. Will take us down inside of 2 minutes in the first half. 3rd and about 1.5 yards now.
Tough sled in the middle with Wingo inside there. Let's see if they try to get it to the outside. He's lined up right now anyway over that on the right side.
Sneak. Travis fighting. 2nd, 3rd effort does get the first down at the 21. He didn't have it at first.
No, what an effort here. Again, there's not a lot of room there. He's just determined, just bouncing off of guys. Remember, inside 2 minutes with the new rules, the old rules come into play where the clock will stop after a first down.
LSU, Wingo just trying to get lined up here. They're playing quickly. 10th play of this drive. Maybe wearing down this LSU defense.
Showing pressure to the left.
Looping throw for the end zone. Battle. Coleman. Touchdown. Went up and got the football over Major Burns. And that's where they're excited to have him arrive from East Lansing. What a play.
Well, I saw that blitz to the left. There's nobody there. There's 3 receivers, only 1 defender. But instead, he goes to the slot. Fade to the bigger receiver, Keon Coleman. And it works out. You can see his family's fired up. Major Burns has pretty good size. He's 6'2" himself. That's just saying, hey, my guy's better than yours. Hopefully he's okay. Looks like he may be cramping up. Our guy's better than yours. He's going to win this 50-50 ball, and he goes up and high points that ball for a touchdown. It's his 2nd tonight, the transfer from Michigan State.
And from 40 and 21. That's why he was one of the most coveted receivers out of the portal. And Travis, the minute this dude got on campus, he knew his reputation. But when he started to work with him, Kirk, he was, I got a weapon.
No doubt. So he's pointing to it. He sees the pressure. There's really nobody on that other side, but instead he goes to the right and he just says, you know what, I got that cushion. I trust that Coleman's going to be able to make this play. Look at the offensive line, does a nice job off that blitz, giving him just enough time, and then he puts it up into the air where Coleman can have a chance to adjust back, even though it's underthrown a bit. It's a tough play for a safety, one-on-one against a receiver, even though, again, Major Burns, a leader, second year in this defense. Heck of an effort there by Coleman.
You see the strength of Coleman. He's 215 pounds, two-sport athlete at Michigan State. Played some hoops for Tom Izzo. He'll head to the locker room a little bit early here to get those legs checked out, get the cramps dealt with. But Travis immediately impressed. His teammates were pretty wowed. They knew of his reputation as a receiver. They weren't sure until he got down to Tallahassee exactly how extraordinary an athlete was. And then he went up at Mike Norvell's house like the day after he got there. It was a team gathering, and he's wearing jeans, and he throws down a windmill dunk, and they were like, whoa. Anderson knocked down. Let's answer the athletic trivia question. So much going on. I haven't really had a chance to think about it. Season opening top 10
I was going back to like Jameis Winston. I mean, it's that era maybe. But I can't remember. I remember they had a hyped up game with Alabama, but it didn't go well.
No, it did not. I was going to say Miami. I know you don't believe me. It was a long time ago. I didn't know the year. But, yeah, a slugfest back, 18 years ago. Trying to come up with one tonight.
Heck of a job by Jordan Travis after those miscues, bouncing back to deliver on that drive to be able to tie this game up. Shows you really what he's all about.
Yeah, he's been clutch on third down tonight and precise with his throws. See what LSU does here. A minute to go. They've got 2 timeouts. They'll work the sideline. Neighbors couldn't quite escape. And the clock now will stop here as they move the sticks momentarily. Green on the stop. They certainly trust their quarterback to operate the 2-minute drill. Long throw dropped out of the hands of Lacey.
Well, this is going to be a really good example for us to see. You know, you got a veteran quarterback, even though he's just his second year at LSU. Of course, he did an incredible job when he was at Arizona State. But the question is, not just tonight, but people want to see how far this offense has grown around Jaden Daniels. Can guys like Lacey and Thomas help out Neighbors? We know about Mason Taylor, the tight end. Here they are, just trying to get in the field goal range with a couple timeouts.
Ramos not known as a long-range field goal kicker. His career long is 47. They got to go a ways. The attempt, one blindside hit. The ball is loose. A scramble for it as Daniels got pounded by that man, Jared Verse, who was a nightmare a year ago in this game.
In this matchup, Will Campbell's a great player. Jared Verse last year went up against him, and he was a true freshman. Verse was a transfer, and here it is, that same matchup a year later. Keeps his hands off of him, uses that speed and that bend to be able to get there in the blind side of the quarterback. He is a stud.
He's mocking the breaking the rock, which is the tradition that the Seminoles have. Boy, he got that arm, NFL style, right? He got the arm down and just tomahawked the ball out, pun intended, of the hands of the quarterback.
Speaking of NFL style, a lot of people thought he would have maybe gone out last year. He decides to come back, continue to work on his game. And I would argue, if he's not the top pass rusher in college football, man, he's right there in the discussion.
Holly, we talked to Verse when we visited Tallahassee. Impressive guy. You got to love his work ethic.
His work ethic is impressive. I talked to his parents, Eric and Janine, and they were telling me about when he was in high school, he did a little bit of everything, basketball, baseball, but his proudest achievement was helping his team win the state championship in the 4x400 meters for the first time. You saw that speed off the edge. I saw him run a 100-meter leg that was pretty impressive. This kid has got athletic background. He's done a little bit of everything, but not only that, he played the saxophone. His parents raised a good one that can do a lot of talented things.
That's awesome.
They're going to review to see if it was a fumble or an incompletion. Verse, you may know his story. He played at Albany. I mean, nobody really had offered him much out of high school. He was a tight end, weighed like 200 pounds. Again, at Albany, he just played with a chip in his shoulder no matter who he was going against. He played possessed, and a bunch of teams spotted that and said, he can help us. And And yeah, another look. As I said, they're going to look and see if it was a forward pass or a fumble. We'll bring in Bill LeMagne to see what he thinks about it.
I see the hit causing his arm to go down, not the quarterback intentionally trying to go forward with the pass. I say the call stands.
Do you think the ball was out of his hands before he moved his arm forward? I
have a fumble.
Okay. There's a really good slow look. There's the contact. He still appears to have a grip on the ball.
You can have an argument on that, but I say his arm's coming down and forward because of the hit, not because of his throwing action.
Man, Bill, how you guys do that stuff? I honestly
don't congratulate him yet. We'll see what the verdict is.
Yeah, I don't know. They're up here.
I hate to say stands on anything.
We all know the rule there, but I just don't know how you such a gray area there.
This one is right on the edge.
Yeah.
Here's a spoiler alert. They have moved the yard marker back, and I think they're going to rule this incomplete.
After review, the quarterback's hand was going forward before losing possession. It's an incomplete pass. It will be 3rd down and 10. Florida State will not be charged as timeout. 3rd down.
That's a good announcement by the referee from the standpoint of that timeout, because they would have never taken the timeout if it had been ruled an incomplete pass.
Right. Sure, it's hugely impactful. Verst doesn't get the sack, but with 25 seconds to go, after what he just saw, does Kelly just run the ball and go to halftime?
Yeah, I mean, 25 seconds to. You have the 2 timeouts, 3rd and 10.
Long way to go to get in field goal range. We'll see.
Yeah. You would think they would just kill the clock and go in 14-14 at half.
In any case, somebody better account for number 5 over there is on the right end.
They moved the back over there to help Chip, maybe. They're going to run the ball.
And just give it to Williams. He's got some space. He gets out and barrels way into Florida State territory. He's knocked out with plenty of time to operate. A conservative call, but a huge play.
Well, because they had 3 receivers lined up all the way to the left, they're playing man coverage. All that 2nd and 3rd level of the defense is on the other side. And even though they were just trying to work to keep the clock moving, make Florida State use a timeout, there's nobody left on that side. Yeah, look at this, Chris. Look at the formation. Look at all these defenders. There's nobody left on this side. So by using that formation, there's not a whole lot of people that need to be blocked. The receiver ends up getting up to the safety. Lacey, make that corner have to make the tackle, and they pick up huge yards, and that's how things can change. Now you got 30 seconds. Now you get thinking about a field goal.
35-yard gain on the ground on 3rd and 10. Haven't had a lot of huge plays from the running game tonight, except by quarterback Daniels, but that was potentially a 3-point play if they can get Ramos just a little bit closer. Right now,
I think it's 10 yards.
Yeah, it'd be a 57-yard. I got to get about 10 more yards to him to feel good about it. Yeah, maybe 6 yards to give it a shot.
Still have a timeout. Depending on what happens here, you want to hold on to that timeout. Probably got a couple plays here to try to run a couple quick ones.
Kane is the back. Daniels, pocket collapsing, he escapes again and will be dragged down at about the 36. So Kalen DeLoach stopped him. Now they're right at that field goal line.
But a great effort by Daniels to get out of bounds. Hold on to that timeout. And instead of getting sacked or losing yards, he's able to pick up 3 yards, get out of bounds, and hold on to that timeout, see what they can do here.
Yeah, crucial that he'll still have that timeout. Just a little bit closer.
Playing man-to-man here, straight up. And that time they pass him off.
Neighbors comes across in motion. Daniels is looking to his left, delivers a long throw, and wide open is Brian Thomas. They lost him. Now he's down in the red zone with 17 seconds to go. Another thinking touchdown.
I was saying man-to-man. It looked like there was a little bit of confusion there. When they went into motion, I think Florida State miscommunicates in coverage, and they just freed him up. Nobody in coverage there on Brian Thomas.
So the thinking has changed from maybe run a safe play and punt to get into field goal range. Another thing at end zone.
Take a shot.
Still have that timeout. Daniels from the pocket throws, and it's incomplete. Looked like Malik Neighbors might have run out of bounds anyway. Ventrell Cypress, the fine transfer corner from Virginia, in coverage.
They continue to bring pressure. Florida State and Adam Fuller, the defensive coordinator, instead of putting a safety over the top to help out the corner, he's leaving him on an island on that last play. If I'm Jaden Daniels and you get that look again, I'd go right back to him. If they're not going to help with that safety, try to take another shot. Let's see what the safety does at the snap of the ball.
A lot of trust in Cypress, isn't there? Against Neighbors one-on-one.
Got him again.
He's looking that way, throws, but miscommunication. He threw it short. Neighbors didn't break the route off.
You see Neighbors coming back saying, because there's a little bit of miscommunication. Is he going to throw it back shoulder, or is he going to throw it downfield, depending on where the coverage is of the corner? I don't think they were quite on the same page. Neighbors, I think, wanted that thrown downfield where he had a shot. Do you take another shot? And that's the matchup you want. Again, this is what Daniels is concerned about. And if he gets that one-on-one, just put it up in the air into that corner. Give him a chance to run underneath it.
And do they flinch? No, Florida State spending a defensive timeout after getting a look at it. LSU, Kirk, has lived in the red zone. 5 out of 6 possessions they've got down in here. A couple touchdowns to show for it right now. And how important is this sequence with LSU way backed up? They got that replay reversal, which helped them, saved them some yardage, and find themselves threatening again. Seems like Florida State's defense has been kind of having to come up with a stop all first half.
Yeah, and they've certainly done that. I'm amazed that they're trusting their corners on these islands. You know, I mean, that's a tough thing to do with the experience that Jaden Daniels has with Malik Neighbors. Neighbors a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago. I mean, this guy's elite, and you're leaving him out there. I mean, you respect it. Ventrell Cypress, the transfer, he's at 14 starts at UVA, comes over. He's picked up this system very well. But they put him into the boundary, and they trust him on these last couple of plays. They've been able to get away with it. I personally would go right back to him, and again, I'm going to circle it again, if this safety is not coming over to help out.
This time, Cypress backs off a little bit on 3rd and 10. Daniels does not want to take a sack here and just throws it away. Clock was ticking down, almost a mistake. Does get rid of it with 4 seconds as Dennis Briggs brought the pressure.
Really good coverage downfield. They took it. He initially looked again to his left to see if he could get it to Neighbors. It was taken away. Good job there by coverage, and eventually that pass rush affects the timing. All he can do is throw it away.
So with the 4 seconds to spare, Damian Ramos comes on to try from 36 yards out. His first field goal attempt tonight. Normally very reliable inside of 40 yards, 8 of 11, and Mike Norvell will spend the timeout, the final one of the half here. On this beautiful night in Orlando, aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear, road tested and game ready. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven.
Something about these two teams going head to head. Last year it came down to an extra point. This year we get another close game. Remember, Florida State deferred. They will get the ball to start the second half.
How about the clean first half for LSU? Opening game, they don't have a penalty. They've had the muffed punt. That's the one mistake on special teams. But Daniels and the offense have executed beautifully, and now Ramos will try to give them a 3-point lead at the break. No problem. LSU in less than a minute before halftime drives it 67 yards in 10 quick plays. And we do have a good one. These two heavyweights colliding on a quote neutral field. Although FSU clearly has the crowd advantage.
BK never misses an opportunity to talk to the officials one more time.
Doesn't have a touchdown pass. Has been sacked a couple of times, but he has a 40-yard run to set up a touchdown. Holly?
Good demonstration there to the officiating crew. What were you trying to make your point?
You know, they've got big offensive receivers, and they're getting off the line, and we just got to do a better job.
Okay. You guys have been able to get to the red zone, move the ball up and down the field, but how can you be more productive once you get there?
Yeah, we have not been effective, obviously. We had the big opening drive and weren't able to cash in. Yeah, we've got to be more decisive in whether we give the ball or pull it. And I think we've gotten away from, what our reads are. We're just trying to do a little bit too much. We'll settle down here. We'll go through it again and just be more disciplined with our reads, and we'll be fine.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
I appreciate Brian Kelly's halftime interviews. That is so analytical, right?
I love it.
He's kind of putting it on Daniels. 6 red zone trips. They come away with 2 touchdowns and that field goal. 17-14. Bayou Bengals at the break. The Dish halftime report is coming up right after these messages. For championship drive game of the week. So LSU had the big edge in yardage. They were down there 5 times in the red zone, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Florida State's touchdowns both came outside the red zone. They'll get the football back to start the second half here. How do they get Jordan Travis going again?
Well, I think the way you get Jordan Travis going is like any quarterback, you need to run the football. Florida State, if you watched him last year, you would always talk about Jordan Travis, but if you really studied him, it was really more about balance and winning the line of scrimmage as the season went on after that 3-game losing streak. We haven't seen that tonight. They've got to be able to, I'm sure, go in there at halftime and talk about, guys, we've got to find a way, whether it's getting the ball outside, they're losing the battle at the line of scrimmage. But I think if they can run the football, that can really open some things up. The question is, can they do that? Can they find a way to do that?
Again, it's a very experienced offensive line. They've had a hard time keeping Travis clean. The LSU pass rush was a factor. It's good night to Holly. Our Sideline Report presented by Visit Orlando.
Well, Coach Mike Norvell said, hey, we had unforced errors in the first half that we have got to clean up. Too many penalties. At one point after the first quarter, he gathered the entire team together and really got on them, not being overly aggressive and letting this environment get to them. He also said that they've just got to clean up some mistakes, some missed defensive assignments, and then the drops he wanted to address. But he said we're right on track. And one important note, Keon Coleman, who had a terrific first half but cramped up, left early. He came out of the locker room drinking Gatorade and eating a baggie full of pretzels. Got to get that salt in.
And the carbs. Yeah, thank you, Holly. Good stuff. And the play clock's down at 1. They do get the playoff. And Travis has a whole lot of time. Now looking to create on the move a whole lot of space, too. Instead decides to throw, and here comes a flag. Trying to come back to the football. There's Wilson there, and Deuce Chestnut, who had a good first half, guilty of the foul.
Yeah, under ball, underthrown, receiver working back.
Pass interference, number 22, defense. It's a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's LSU's first penalty.
Man, is it hard to cover these receivers when Travis buys time like that. Come on.
You call it plastering. You're trying to stay with him. I mean, he's all over the place, and the foul has already occurred. In fact, it wasn't when he tried to work back to the ball. It was just, as you said, Chris, Travis is back there running all over the place, and you're out there on an island. That's a tough thing to do.
Jaheim Bell is in the backfield now along with Toafili. First time they've showed this formation. He's a lead blocker as they hammer it to Toafili and get 8 on that running play.
There you go. We talked about how can they get this running game going against this front, these linebackers, and there's an idea. They move Bell, who's a tight end, kind of a versatile guy, can do a lot of different things. Get him in the backfield and let him lead the way.
2-back look again. And they run it to the left. And that's a couple of successful plays with a wrinkle. And they're in LSU territory suddenly.
And again, I'm sure that's what Mike Norvell and his offensive staff, they went in and talked about. Guys, we've got to give them some kind of threat to this running game and affect the eyes of these linebackers and safeties. Make them have to think about that instead of just throwing the ball or Jordan Travis running around making plays with his arms or his legs. And it's a big part of what they like to do.
And it's Benson back in the game. And third consecutive run, and Benson to the left kind of runs downhill. Doesn't look like much, but a good push gets him about 3.5 yards.
Saw Jordan Travis taking his time. You want to see what LSU would commit to, and he sees these two safeties back. And anytime a quarterback in these kind of offenses see that, they have the check to either throw it or run it. And with those safeties back, they've got the numbers to their advantage at the line of scrimmage. Try to run the football when the numbers are right.
It's Bell who comes in motion. Travis puts it underneath, and it's Keon Coleman with Bell as a blocker. Nice rhythm here for Norvell as a play caller coming out of halftime here.
Yeah, and even though the safeties are back that time, because it's just a quick throw, it's an extension of the run game, and gives you, again, an idea what Jaheim Bell can do for you. And he's a guy that brought in a lot of fanfare when he came over from South Carolina, had some big games, a game you and I called in Columbia against Tennessee. I mean, he could be a running back, a tight end, a receiver, or a blocker as he led that way and gave him a chance close to a first.
He's improved as a blocker, gotten more physical. That's not really what's made his reputation, but you got to do it all. Backward pass. Spahn looking to throw it. Is in deep trouble. Retreating. Now trying to create. Flips it over the middle. And the catch is made by Wilson. Wow. A lot happened there as Dude Spahn, the receiver, looked like a scrambling quarterback on the play.
This is a great job here of improvising, and it's a heck of a job by the defense from LSU. You see this, they want to get that downfield. It's taken away. So now right there, I thought he was dead. Somehow he keeps this play alive. He gets away from Jones. I thought he might run it, but instead, how about the athletic ability on the run? Throws an absolute dot for a first down.
That could have been a disaster. It could have been a 15-yard loss. Instead, it's an 18-yard gain.
They score on this drive. Don't forget that play for highlights on SportsCenter. That was a great play.
You know, you're thinking, oh no, as a coach, when a receiver is running around with the ball in his hands. Those trick plays, usually, if it's going to happen, good happens right away, right?
Right, and that's what I said. Alexander, the transfer from Louisiana, he got back there, took it away, and usually a receiver doesn't really know what to do. A guy who's trying to throw a double pass, instead he improvises and keeps saying transfer, the Illinois transfer. Span makes a nice throw.
Meanwhile, Wilson has taken the focus off those drops. 5 receptions, all have resulted in a first down tonight. Two-back look again.
This two-back look really helping their running game out on this drive.
Once again, it's Bell as a blocker, but nowhere to run as Braden Swinson just blew the play up and grabbed down for about a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, he's right here. It's pretty easy. Nobody picks him up. Nobody sets the edge here. Confusion because of the blitz there by 3 Brooks. So I think just by showing that blitz may have affected Morlock, the tight end, to go out, release to the outside. Then nobody picks up Swinson. Very easy play to disrupt that.
And makes it a 3rd and 13 for Travis now. Does he have some more? 3rd down magic. Wilson's in the slot to the right. He's been the 3rd down target. They go to him again. This time he doesn't get quite enough for the first down. Stopped by Alexander at the 15. He's 3 yards short. And here comes the...
And they're going to bring that field goal unit out. Positive yards. Good move off the line of scrimmage by the big man. He's able to turn the corner Alexander around, but not able to get the distance he needs for the first down. So they get positive yards, makes the attempt for this field goal much easier.
Fitzgerald, a guy who wants to kind of get his mojo back. Last year was the least accurate season that he had in his 3 seasons at Florida State. This is his first attempt of this season from 33. And he knocks it through. So Florida State moves it 60 yards in 9 plays, and we are even again in Orlando, 17 apiece.
Alabama trying to go back a little bit more to playing defense, field position, and running the football. Milroe showing there's going to be an element, his arm and especially his legs, good complement to what they do on the ground.
picked up a fumbled snap and just ran it into the end zone.
He's a special athlete.
And trying to bring it out here is Aaron Anderson, who had trouble fielding a punt earlier. He'll be stopped short of the 20. So the first possession of the second half for Jaden Daniels. He was able to create 3 explosive plays, one really explosive run of 40 yards to set up a touchdown. Matches the total a year ago. That was a big emphasis for this offense. Brian Kelly said just not good enough with the playmakers we have in this kind of a quarterback to not be anything better than average when it comes to explosive plays.
Yeah, they need to be explosive, but they also need to play to his strengths. And I know they're working on his pocket presence, and that's important. That's all we saw in the second half of last year. But he's really dangerous when he starts to be able to make plays with his feet.
He has been tonight. He's got the ball still, gets in space, just runs right by Jared Verse. As athletic as he is, he could not get the quarterback. Akeem Dent brings him down.
And again, that's what he does. You know, he's able to attack that edge. He's got the option. You see Taylor right there in front of him. If that defensive end goes out too far and an inside linebacker is really scraping from the inside, he can dump that ball to the outside to Taylor, but he had room to run.
Chunk of 15 yards. Now looking to throw. Short route. Catch made by Neighbors in traffic, and he's going to pick up about 8. Neighbors not a huge factor in the first half. That's his 3rd catch tonight. Doesn't really have a big play yet. One of the elite receivers in the SEC.
Yeah, he's looking for a one-on-one opportunity. They're almost able to hit him there at the end of the half on the couple fades. Unable to make that happen against coverage again by Cypress.
Second and short. Let's see if they dial up a shot for him. Now it's a keeper. They flip it in the flat. Taylor's got it. Gets a block from Neighbors on the edge and runs with great determination. And now there's a flag on the tackle at the LSU bench by Cypress. Is it another personal foul on the Noles? And a couple of them in the first half in one possession. Verse was a little aggressive over there, and Norvell pointing to his head saying that wasn't a smart play.
I mean, he's hustling, trying to make a play. They pulled it off. But again, I love the play call. I just love to see Daniels. That was a triple option. I mean, that's basically he can hand it off, he can pull it, or he can throw it around the edge. Watch the outside collapse down right there. 44 takes it. They take him away from running, so then he can throw the football. You can't cover all 3 of those options. One of them's going to be open. Good, quick decisions there by Daniels.
3rd catch tonight for Taylor. Bradford picks his way for about 4 up the middle as they cross back into FSU territory. The whole night they've been on the move in Noles territory. It's just been about how efficient can they be when they get down there.
Yeah, 5 of 6 of their drives have ended up in the red zone. They punched in 2 touchdowns. There's been a few goal line stops and then the 1 field goal. So you're right, they have been moving the ball between the 20s pretty much at will.
Comes the loudest tomahawk chop of the night as the Noles partisan crowd tries to make it tougher on this offense. Empty backfield, ball out quickly. Neighbors on the edge, but a very sure tackle is made right there by Jarian Jones. Not easy to corral him like that in space.
No, the only way you can is you react quickly before that ball's in the air. You recognize that they're lined up with 3 receivers. You got to get underneath the block of Mason Taylor, which he was able to do, but really good, quick reaction there.
Grabbed that foot and would not let go. Becomes a 3rd and 6.
Got Neighbors down here at the bottom, away from the 3 receivers.
Daniels took a peek that way, and now delivers across the middle, in and out of the hands of Kyron Lacey. Drops a play. Both offenses. Cypress was in coverage, and it's 4th down. Here comes the punt team.
Yeah, pretty good job here by Daniels, working all the way back. Puts it right on the money. You could not throw that any better. Worked from the play side, came all the way back. Cypress with pretty tight coverage, but a great throw and a drop.
Pretty well-played game for the most part for an opener, but the drops on both sides, something we did not expect. We've got some elite receivers on this field. Bramblett tries to pin them back. It's a very high punt, and Coleman comes up and makes the catch at the 17. LSU just 2 for 7 now in third down and a couple failed fourth downs. It's over at the 13-yard line.
Go back to this third down and take a peek at what they were trying to do. Trying to get the ball thrown to the right there to Neighbors. You can see him looking in. But look at this drop by Lacey. If he catches that ball right there, think about all the room he has to run out this way. It would have been a foot race maybe to the corner of the end zone.
I think he knew that. That's why he kind of tilted his head downfield.
Could have been. Man coverage and a drop ball. Missed big opportunity there for LSU.
Rodney Hill, he wrestled down. They still cannot get this running game going. Big Jordan Jefferson. That's his specialty, plugging up the run, makes the play behind the line.
Well, they can't get it going with the one back look. The last drive, we saw a lot of two backs, but look at there's a couple guys pulling, and there's the quickness by the big guys in the inside. Jordan Jefferson, you say Jordan Jefferson at LSU, you think of some names come to mind.
Different body type.
This time West Virginia transfer. Powerful, that time showing his quickness on that counter play.
Loss of 4. Travis against the 3-man rush at halftime and launches over the middle. Coleman goes up and makes a catch. A beautiful pitch and catch. He beat Chestnut out near midfield. He has made a monster impact in his first game in the Garnet and Gold.
This is fourth completion over 20 yards, one-on-one. There's that matchup again against Chestnut. He's come up with a pick. This time a perfectly placed football by Travis out in front of Coleman to come up with that big game.
And they hand it off to Hill. And bangs forward. They said, so when you go good on good in the scrimmages, could your DBs cover Coleman? And Jordan said, no, not really. He's hard to guard. And that gets competitive in those scrimmages.
Absolutely. Some boo birds coming down because Florida State, you could see them pushing that pile. LSU, the whistle's blown. LSU still taking some shots. The crowd reacting to that. Also thought he never went down.
That's what Hill thought. Wait a second. I'm still up. Now Toafili is the back. Pitch it on the edge. And that time, nothing doing. Coleman caught the ball. They had sent a tight end over there to block, but Omar Spates fought through all that stuff.
Yeah, really nice job there on the edge of the defense. Spates cleaned it up, but it was the secondary doing a good job of forcing that back to the inside, just taking up, occupying 2 blockers here. Look at that effort right there. Good job by Major Burns, and then Spates comes in.
Toafili in motion. They hand it to him on 3rd and 3, and around. Lowers the shoulder, didn't get there. And now Norvell has a decision. It'll be 4th down and about 2 at the 42. Andre Sam made the play.
That felt like a play call that's setting up the potential to go for it here. You know, just, can we pick up the first? And if not, how close can we get? Because we're going for it on 4th down. It had that kind of feel. And in fact, they are going to end up going for it here.
It was a big moment. Late stages of the 3rd quarter in a tie game. Can LSU get a 4th down stop this time? Travis as a runner is always a serious threat. Are they trying to draw him off? They're going to run the play. Flips it out, and wide open is Toafili with a convoy. Makes a cut, still going. Sliding down at the 1, but a huge 4th down conversion puts him on the brink of claiming the lead.
Well, they brought everybody. Brought Greg Brooks. They had blitz here. This is the key right here. They bring the pressure to the outside. Toafili slips to the outside. There's nobody there to pick him up. And now you see a good effort downfield and a heck of a block by Johnny Wilson.
And now playing fast. Just walking in the end zone is Jordan Travis. So Norvell trusts his offense. Beautiful play drawn up. And FSU back on top.
And a lot happening there.
What a drive. 87 yards, Kirk, in 7 plays.
And there's Jordan Travis. Watch this read. Feels it from the backside. Pulls that out of there. and ends up walking into the end zone. LSU selling out to try to get to Toafili before he can get the ball. Good job of Jordan Travis feeling and sensing that, pulls the ball out of his arms, and keeps it himself for an easy touchdown.
It's the third touchdown accounted for Travis tonight, who is climbing the FSU charts. She's going to threaten a lot of records before this season is done. Knowles back up a touch.
Chris, we got to go back to this. This is a zone read. He's reading Perkins, but he feels Brooks on the backside. I know it's a 1-yard touchdown, but he's reading 4 to his right, and out of nowhere senses that collapse, the blitz from Brooks, and pulls it because of what was the blind side, and then allowed him to walk into the end zone. Really a rare play by a veteran
Brooks making the proper play, going for the back and not the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's not even supposed to be looking at him. He's looking play side and just kind of felt Brooks on that blitz.
Anderson up to receive the short kickoff. He'll be knocked down to the 24. So Florida State's offense, touchdown, field goal, touchdown in the last 3 drives. The All-State Bus here in Orlando with Curtis Wilson, keeping us up to speed and stuff. It's your All-State Good Hands play this weekend, hint, hint.
Yeah, obviously, you got to go to Colorado. A game that went back and forth, and Colorado ends up making a huge play here late in the game.
Dylan Edwards,
monster from Notre Dame, had a huge day. Big day for the entire Sanders family. How about the performance over 500?
Geez, I wonder if he can play at FBS. Coming from Jackson, 5'10".
Yeah, can't wait to see him next week against Nebraska.
Daniels on third down. They pick up the late pressure. Neighbors on the long throw. Makes the catch, comes back to the ball, and he'll step out at the 37.
How about that? Right hash, the college game. That is a long throw from the right hash. Throws this ball on a line. Absolute rope away from the defender near the boundary on his left side. Gives you an idea of the arm strength of Jaden Daniels.
Knowles bring pressure again. Daniels cannot escape this time. Reaching up and grabbing him was Dennis Briggs. The big fella wouldn't let the quarterback go.
They're bringing pressure here. They're locking up, playing man-to-man, and when they do that, you got to get home to Daniels. If he gets out of there, he's going to have a lot of room to run. What an effort there to just hold on by Briggs.
You can appreciate the strength, folks, of what it took to do that. You're on the ground. I mean, Daniels is a powerful runner. He just wouldn't let him go. 4-yard loss. Hand it off inside. Flying downhill was Tatum Bethune to slam into Williams that time. 3rd and long.
If you could tell at home, but this is a hard-hitting game. I mean, there are guys flying around out here, and there's some big hits like this. Boom, right there. Good job there by Bethune. Filling that up. He's feeling it right now.
Again, 3rd down has been a problem. 2 for 7. It's a tall order here. Final minute of the 3rd quarter. And here comes a flag. Getting a little over-eager was Patrick Payton on the left side.
Offside. Number 11, defense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It makes this 3rd down a little less challenging now. They'll need 6.
I mean, Mike Norvell, he's going to go back to Tallahassee, and whether they win or lose this game. And, of course, from week 1 to week 2 is where you clean up, you know, they make the most growth. He's going to have a lot of examples of guys just playing with a little bit more mental toughness, being a little bit more sharp. They've had a few penalties, not just 7, but some big ones.
They pick up the pressure. Daniels gets it out. Mason Taylor makes the catch. That penalty was big.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I mean, it's the penalties that they've had that have cost him. You go from 3rd and 11 to 3rd and 5 or 6, and you throw an out to a big tight end like Taylor, he's a tough matchup because of his athletic ability. And he's 6'6", 255. Jason Taylor's son made the big play last year against Alabama. A year older, he is dangerous.
Seconds ticking away. Will they get the playoff? They just do. Last play of the quarter. Daniels takes a downfield shot. Oh, and wide open as Brian Thomas had to wait for the football, could not make the catch.
He just got lost in coverage. You know, again, when you play man-to-man, you know, whether it's a matchup zone or man-to-man, there's just nobody out there. Thomas leaves him alone. Watch 20. Just kind of has his eyes on the quarterback. He falls to the inside with Lacey, leaving nobody there to the outside. And the Noles, very fortunate. That's not a huge play for LSU.
Brian Kelly asked his receiver what happened. End of 3 in Orlando. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station.
Well, Coach, it's 4th and 2. What went into your mind to make that tough decision that paid off in a touchdown?
You know, we felt good about our call. You know, obviously when we're on the field, you know, confidence in those guys being able to execute and, you know, made a great play in that situation.
You just called your entire team together to start this 4th quarter. What was the message you delivered?
You know, you got 15 minutes, man. Go put everything we have on the line. You know, we got to make sure we're playing smart. I mean, guys are playing hard, playing with passion. We just got to make sure we're playing smart and not having any foolish penalties. Let's go finish this thing.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, he'll be thrilled. He looks up and sees Renardo Green makes the pick of Daniels and scoots down the sideline, sets up the Noles at the 25.
Yeah, Neighbors just falls down here, and a good job of stepping up in front of that. Told you that battle would be going on all night long. Green wins this one. Neighbors slips, loses his footing. Ball just a little bit late out into the flat. I don't know if it's going to be a completion either way, but Green sees it all the way and comes up with that big turnover. I don't know how he avoided his knee touching the ground there, but somehow he did, I guess.
First interception Daniels has thrown tonight. We're going to check and see if his knee was down where he made the catch.
Just watching in real time, if it didn't touch, it came close. I was going to brag on him for being able to not touch somehow.
Well, don't not brag on him.
Yeah, I was like,
replay's going to look at it.
So.
Yeah, he's down.
We've got a knee down. They're going to bring the ball back to that spot.
See Neighbors down on the ground looking back, and there's the knee down.
Bill, you do want to err on the side of the official letting the play go, right? In case it didn't touch down, you want to give him a chance to make the big return.
Yeah.
But clearly that's what replay's for.
We say if you know the call, you make the call. But if you have doubt and you're not sure, leave it alone.
And always bring it back.
Assuming replay does their job, which they're doing.
Can't bring the throwback, though, for Daniels. And FSU's going to have possession here. And their offense has been on a roll. Remember, Travis was struggling in the second quarter. He got his rhythm back just before halftime. And this half, 5 for 5 throwing the ball for 98 yards. This ball is going to be moved back.
After review, the defender's knee was down with the ball at the 43-yard line. Forced down, Florida State.
So it cost them about 40 yards, but they're still set up in good field position. Ball and lead now.
And Florida State has a lot of momentum, not only because of the pick, but the last time Jordan Travis was out here. Remember, look how close they are to their own end zone. Hit a huge throw downfield, put it right on the money to get that drive going to Keon Coleman. And then just put it out to the outside. What an effort there on 4th down, and then they pulls it to put it into the end zone. What a heck of a read and feel there by Travis. That was their last possession. We're in the 4th quarter now, up 7. These drives get more and more important.
Drive recap brought to you by Camping World. And now the handoff to Benson, who busts loose. They're beginning to get a little traction with the running game. That was their best run tonight.
And again, he's not blocking anybody on this play, Jaheim Bell, but it's that 2-back look again that seems to be giving LSU some fits. You know, they're having a hard time getting penetration with that 2-back look in the backfield.
A wrinkle since halftime. They go with it again on this snap. Benson again. Runs through tackles. That's what he does. The first guy there rarely gets him down. To average more than 4 per carry after contact is big.
Absolutely. You see that time they brought the blitz there with Greg Brooks, but a good job of picking it up. And got to give Florida State's offensive line a lot of credit. It's been a battle up there against Makai Wengo and that defensive front, but they have hung in there. See who wins this 4th quarter in the trenches.
It was a different look, but still a 2-back set. From the pistol, with that blocker on the right side, Benson this time has to escape. and will fight back and lose only about 3. Andre Sam from his safety position wouldn't have it at that time.
And they're starting to get their eyes into that backfield and starting to, they didn't even have to really fear or respect that running game at all. And so their approach with how Matt House, the defensive coordinator, is trying to defend Jordan Travis is pretty obvious. They're trying to negate that run game, get him the obvious passing situations, and then see if you can dial it up to get pressure.
Noles have been far more efficient than LSU tonight on 3rd down, 7 for 12. They need 8. Travis taken off, has blockers, and Jordan Travis skips out of bounds inside the 30. It's FSU's turn to use a designed quarterback run.
Yeah, and you've got that 3 receivers, if you include the tight end, 4 receivers, and adjust the entire LSU defense to the left. Then they bring that quarterback counter back to the right. They just outnumbered them.
Man, he's been
really
precise throwing the ball on 3rd down. Now he picks up 13. But when the quarterback can do 2 different things to move the sticks.
Tell you what, Mike Norvell calling a heck of a game here.
And they flip it to Coleman, who's running the crossing route. He makes a nice little cut and picks up a chunk before Savion Jones brings him down. Coleman, a great game and designing some nice plays, huh?
He is, and he's saving some of the better ones for these 3rd and 4th downs. I'll tell you, as LSU's defense gets closer to their own goal line, you look at a 12-minute mark, 7-point game. The way Jordan Travis and his Florida State offense has got some momentum, and they figured out some things that are working. It's a big drive for the Tigers defense. They look tired.
Travis on the move again, scanning downfield and fires across the middle. And that's Johnny Wilson making another 1st down catch. 1st and goal, Noles.
I can't figure Johnny Wilson out. He drops a couple easy ones, and this time we have an injury to Andre Sam, but drops a couple easy ones, and he makes the tough catches. It's a good job looking back, rolling out, eyes downfield, and then having a chance because of the accuracy of the ball to get down to protect himself, to be able to get that ball into his arms and lower his shoulder before Sam hits him. There's 14 on 14 right there. It's a big man that Sam had to hit.
That will give LSU a start number 9 against Duke, Wallace Wade. They figured to have a lot of Tigers fans there.
We'll get a chance to see Garrett Riley, the new play caller, coming over from TCU. Kate Klubnik, Riley Leonard, who's a heck of a dual threat quarterback in his own right from Duke. Incidentally, DJ Uiagalelei today played against San Jose State, out with Oregon State, ranked 18th, 20 of 25 for 239 and 3 touchdowns. A big day. Telling you, Pac-12 is loaded at Oregon State to that conference this year, too. They're dangerous.
See what Klubnik can do against Duke. Now, here's a big sequence. Seminoles trying to extend this to a 2-touchdown lead. They have a 1st and goal at the 9. Toafili, nowhere to run outside, cuts it back inside. Looks like Andre Sam is okay. Trainer's looking at him, but that did give LSU, and you said their defense was really getting worn down, a chance to get a breather. Nice to see him with the helmet back on.
Helmet is on. Good to see that he's okay. Transfer coming. He spent 5 years at McNeese State, Marshall last year, 7th year of college football, and what a player that they think could be very valuable to them back in the back end of that defense.
See what Norvell is thinking about here from the 7-yard line on 2nd down. He's got a lot of options, that's for sure. Travis from the pocket, long looping throw, and now man again. Keon Coleman has a hat trick in his 1st game with Florida State. The ex-Spartan showing why he was so coveted out of the portal. Serious weapon in the red zone.
And a really good ball here by Travis. Recognizing the matchup, Coleman 6'4", can go up in the air, being a basketball player. Really good instincts. Chestnut, who's had his hands full over there, the Syracuse transfer, 5'11", puts it up in the air and just lets Coleman adjust back to the ball, and an easy pitch and catch there for the touchdown for the Noles.
We said both teams had added to already strong rosters beautifully in the portal. Some people think that Norvell and Florida State played the portal game better than anybody. Maybe except for Coach Prime.
Yeah.
State grad.
Right. I'd love to say. Yeah.
So Jordan Travis 3 touchdown passes, all of them to his new buddy, Keon Coleman. And Mike Norvell says that's what we expect from number 13. Zip edge, outgaining LSU 189-56 since the break. And Jordan Travis is on fire, 11 straight completions.
How about 76% of your passes for 298, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Remember that one back-to-back series? We wondered, boy, a couple throws are uncharacteristic, and he's certainly bounced back from that.
Yeah, very nearly threw a pick from his own 1-yard line.
Yeah.
Lucky to get away with it. Clayton will let it go. So some urgency now for Daniels, down by 14. Can't wait for this one. I'm told, what, 40,000 extra folks. Greg Sankey, SEC commissioner, talking to him on the field.
Yeah.
Pre-game, it's going to be quite a scene for game day down there. And then, of course, inside the ballpark.
College game day will be at Denny Chimes, getting you ready for not just that matchup, but talking about all the big games. It'll be a lot of fun to get that. And then, of course, you and I and Holly have a chance in our crew to be in there to call that game.
Sounds like Doak Campbell Stadium at the moment. Dragged down is Bradford. Gilbert Edmond, one of those reserves, rotating in off the end.
Just a miscue there up front. You see it up front, this offensive line. Emory Jones just unable to sustain that block. I don't know if he was expecting Mason Taylor, the tight end, to maybe help on a combo block, but nobody there to be able to help out. Made it very easy for Edmond, eyes in the backfield, to come up with a tackle for a loss.
Bad time for miscommunication from the guys up front. 2nd and 15. Daniels flushed, and he'll be dragged down at the 11, going backwards. Joshua Farmer made the play. But going crazy here now.
DJ Lundy again. I tell you, this linebacker has been all over the field. Number 10 in the middle. Watch him move and flush Jaden Daniels. This whole game is about trying to keep Daniels in the pocket. And that time they're able to flush him with both to the left and then to the right.
Florida State defense and crowd can smell blood here. 3rd and 22. A whole new bunch of Seminoles came on. It was like a hockey line change for this pass rush down. Long throw. Catch by Thomas. He's got a long way to go. Get nowhere near the marker. And out comes the punt team. FSU up front, taking advantage of the miscue you said in first down, and momentum just built after that.
Yeah, a big focus for this defense is being better on 1st and 2nd down. They picked a great time to do that. And that 1st down play, the 5-yard loss, set them up perfectly to get off the field.
Full voice, this Florida State crowd. Came in as underdogs in this game. Neither fan base was terribly confident their side was going to take care of business. Is that kind of even matchup going in? And the Noles faithful, loud and vocal. That punt was dangerous. Came close to bouncing into a Florida State player. Rolls dead at the 43. 8 minutes to go. Travis back to work. 36-yard punt. Kirk, remember what happened a year ago.
It was 24-10 in the 4th quarter, and that ended up being just that 1-point game with a block extra point.
Again, the 2-back set that's been so effective getting the ground game going here in the 2nd half. And picking his way through is Benson, and just powering for a 12-yard gain into LSU territory.
We talked at halftime when we came out. We said, what could get Jordan Travis going? And we said, like any quarterback, we said a running game. And it's exactly what Mike Norvell and his offensive staff have committed to. Travis has made the explosive plays. He and the receivers getting a lot of recognition. Keon Coleman's had a big night. But if you're a Noles fan, you got to be really excited with this veteran offensive line, the adjustments to this 2-back look, and how it's opened up their running game.
Talked about Jaheim Bell, so talented. He can do a lot with the football, as he did at South Carolina. He's been helping as a blocker tonight. Only 1 catch, but he's made an impact in the game in this 2-back look. And now it was going to be a receiver, though he wasn't looking for the football. Travis just threw it into the ground. Holly?
Well, guys, Jordan Travis and Keon Coleman have really just developed some special chemistry here tonight, but it's been a long time coming. They have worked hard at it. Jordan Travis stays after practice almost every single session to get extra throws in with Keon. After routes in practice, he'll run all the way down to the end of the field and walk back with Keon, and they'll talk about the nuances, what they want to fix, what they want to change, and he will encourage him. This seems like it's just coming easy tonight, but I promise you, this has been months and months in the making of Jordan Travis and Keon Coleman putting in the work to have the chemistry.
That's a good point, Holly. Here's Travis on the move, and he flips it wide open. Bell makes an impact play as a receiver, and Florida State may have just stuck the dagger in LSU. We said he'd been a blocker, he'd been a decoy, but he's so capable of that kind of play. 44 yards.
Well, because of that, watch what they end up doing with him here. You'll see as the play rolls on. Watch him. He's actually showing like he's blocking, and then he ends up releasing. That's what affected the safeties. They just ignored him because he did a good job of kind of showing that stem block. They ignore him. He releases, and just right on cue, Chris, he comes up with a huge play.
Bell comes from Valdosta, Georgia, South Georgia, not very far from the Florida State campus. He is well aware of the Noles. Again, a productive player at South Carolina. They had a good season last year. You wonder why transfer? Well, he wants to be a part of this offense. And Jordan Travis. And Jordan, he's feeling it, saying bye-bye to the LSU fans. Not over yet, but 7 minutes to go. 3-touchdown lead. 24 unanswered for the Seminoles. Touchdown, field goal, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown on their last 5 drives. Clayton from inside the 5, hard hit delivered at the 14-yard line. What a statement his team has made. You know that the reminder was leave no doubt. Remember what happened last year, and they have been dominant really on both sides since halftime.
Incredible what Mike Norvell has done in the 4 years. You go back and look at his team with Jim near the end of the Jimbo Fisher era in 2017. They're 7-6, 18. With Willie Taggart, they're 5-7, then they're 6-7. The COVID year, they're 3-6, 5-7. Last year, 10-3. These Noles fans have been desperate to get a team that they can get excited about. You saw the beginning of it last year and a continuation now this year.
Daniels just trying to desperately create a big play to make a dent in this lead. Neighbors makes the catch, and he's ushered out at the 37. Yeah, they doubled their win total last year. Came up short against Clemson. Actually lost 3 games in a row mid-season before reeling off 6 straight wins. And now, coming into the season, and it'll get even louder after this game, expected to challenge and maybe unseat the Tigers. They'll meet in Death Valley in just a few weeks. Can't wait for that one.
But just think about what Mike Norvell faced. He took over a program that had really struggled in 3 straight years, right? And not only that, it's COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, all the restrictions that he had to deal with, and he took a lot of negative energy around the program. Some people, even his own fans, questioned if he was the right guy. He just kept making changes to the point that they are where they are now.
Daniels escapes and scoots for a first down. He'll get out of bounds. Again, the clock will not stop with the new rules in college football. It's not the final 2 minutes.
You look at that 20 and 21, the big year last year. What you don't see with the 2022, after those tough years, they lose 3 straight in the middle of the year. It's like, oh boy, here they go again. And instead, they finish with 6 straight wins, including that bowl win. And now you're talking about a team coming off a 10-win season, playing LSU, and they're up 38-17. A lot of optimism right now.
Incomplete off the hands of Lacey, and his offense continues to hum. Again, they go over the 35-point mark. They've been doing that routinely. This makes it 7 games in a row, Kirk. They're all wins, of course, and that's the longest active streak. You're going to beat this team. You're going to have to outscore them. And it's hard with this defense. They have shown a lot of depth,
no doubt,
in the second half.
That's the biggest difference is the depth that they have, and I think they're really physical at the point of attack.
Daniels is going to be dragged down after a short gain. Verse again was there just crushing the pocket.
Yeah, that's what's great about him is he doesn't always have to do it with speed. You know, he's got that move. He's got quickness to go around the edge and the bend. But that time, he just used short power that time to push Will Campbell right into the quarterback.
Ball comes out quickly, and the long throw and a catch to Brian Thomas, who's shoved out of bounds. But again, the clock will continue to run here. We'll get down near 5 minutes when they snap this 3rd and 9. Fourth down and 4. Daniels flips it across the middle. Catch made. No first down. Lacey stopped by Tatum Bethune, and the Noles get yet another turnover on downs, and that should do it.
What instincts there by Tatum Bethune. He and DJ Lundy have played incredibly well in the middle of this defense. He lets that receiver go by him, heads on a swivel. He sees that crosser underneath. And then that closing speed, Florida State fired up to know it more likely just secured victory, getting the LSU offense off the field.
Defense has done a good job, and I credit Adam Ford, the defensive coordinator for Florida State. Good job on 3rd down, and then the 4th down stops have been enormous here. That one just about turning out the lights on the Tigers. They like their linebackers. Kalen DeLoach, DJ Lundy made an early play. Bethune, Jerian Jones, Greedy Vance can come down from the nickel and contribute too. Hill on a delay, and they have finally worn down that LSU front. Steadily done so here in the 2nd half. Goodyear providing aerial coverage above Camping World Stadium. Celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. Southern Miss up next for the Seminoles. That's their only September home game at BC, followed by at the Clemson Tigers. The nemesis, they've beaten them 7 times in a row. It's on Harold Perkins, who's had a quiet night. I think he's capable of wrecking an opponent's offense. Didn't do so tonight.
And I think for LSU, and it's the first game of the year. You take a risk when you play these kind of games. I think what's important is you have 11 games. You're going to learn from this loss. You're going to continue to improve. They have Grambling State coming up. They have Mississippi State. They have Arkansas. Those are their next 3 games. They got to go back to the film room. They thought they'd come into this game, they'd be able to win this game. Now you lose it, you readjust, recalibrate, learn from it. You got a good football team, could still have a very, very special year.
That'll be the message. But with a 3-point halftime lead, just got completely out of hand. FSU more physical, just banging around, bullying LSU here in the 2nd half.
How about Rodney Hill? And Rodney Hill comes in and says, guys, can I get in on the act? I know this, we're up 38-17. He's been sitting over there on the sideline, and he's like, I'm not just coming out here to kill the clock. I'm going to lower my shoulder and knock some people around. What a run.
Just ran over Major
Burns said, where did that come from? Wow.
He's been banged up in camp, but they believe he has a big future. Rodney Hill.
Gosh, 29. Beautiful.
This is not just a victory. This is a statement by Florida State. It's a statement by the ACC. End around now, just having a little fun as Deuce Spahn knocked out of bounds. The game in Charlotte there, you watched North Carolina. They beat South Carolina in what looked like a pretty even matchup. And now Florida State is underdogs, laying it on another team from the SEC. There's the Verbo rankings coming into the season. Nothing really happened to shake it up.
No, but I think if there's a theme over the first weekend, I think what Colorado did caught everybody's attention, obviously, and it should. And then I think what the ACC has done as a conference in those more high-profile games. North Carolina looked incredibly athletic and physical. We know about Drake May, but I think Mac Brown has a heck of a team in Chapel Hill.
Where do you rank the Buffaloes in your you rank them top 5 or you stick top 10 after the opening game? Hey, you got to give me a little fun.
You've had 20 years of misery.
Not 20 years of misery.
Dude,
they've had some decent
2002 was your last team that was really good.
COVID year was there. Yeah, okay, if you want to really...
Come on, we're not getting that. I'm going back to 02. What was that back's name? Kevin... He was good back you guys had.
Chris Brown, you mean?
Yeah.
Chris Brown?
Chris
okay,
Brown.
Yeah, okay.
That's 02. That's 20.
They ran over Nebraska, yeah.
And then Miami.
I don't acknowledge 20 years of misery. The last couple have been bad.
My gosh, Chris, it's been terrible. That's what makes you appreciate what Coach Prime's done that much more. 20 years, we haven't said Colorado on TV.
And in a good way.
No.
Travis weaving down. He's still running hard. Lowers the shoulder.
They want another one.
Down inside the 5. It's first and goal. Yeah, they're still hungry to tackle another touchdown.
They're not even looking at the scoreboard. They're just out there executing. I love this. Says a lot about a quarterback. The way he plays the game, doesn't it? I don't care what the score is. This guy's competing. I mean, he's lowering his shoulder. That's Patrick Mahomes style, right? Whatever it takes. Whether you got to be an athlete, use your speed and quickness, or you got to once in a while lower your shoulder and run right into the teeth of that defense to get that extra yard or two for the first. This kid is really special.
He's resilient. He's been a survivor. He got booed at home games early in his career. He volunteered to change positions. And around, banging into the end zone. And they tack on more. That's Jaheim Bell, who scores as a runner after the touchdown catch earlier. Hello.
And how about how he went into the end zone right over Zy Alexander, the corner, who just happened to accidentally get in the way. Just got trucked by the big tight end.
This will be with the PAT 31 unanswered after halftime. As I said, not just a W, a resounding statement. Florida State saying, we're back. We're the team to beat in the ACC. Easy, they got to prove it on the field. We're a playoff contender. That's only strengthened after this game.
Go back to the adjustments at halftime when they were trailing in this game. 17-14 at half. They came out, made some adjustments with that two-back look in the backfield, and it's been a different game from that point on. 100 yards rushing in the second half alone. There's 24 Alexander kind of getting in the way, and Bell sending that message. It's been that kind of night, that kind of second half for the Seminoles.
You're not supposed to go in against an LSU team and maul them physically. You're not supposed to face this team from Baton Rouge and just run over them. You don't see that happen. They've done that in the second half.
Good look there from the progressive pylon cam. There's going to be an energy and a buzz around this program. By the way, we've missed you. It's great to see Florida State and that the fans, the energy around this program, and after winning and beating number 5, it's going to be something we haven't seen in a long time. It's going to be up to Jordan Travis and the other leaders on this team to just stay grounded and continue to just play humble, physical brand of football that they're played tonight.
And they'll say, remember what happened last year. They beat LSU, very different kind of a game. Started out 4-0, lost 3 in a row, beginning with a loss to Clemson.
Finished with 6 straight.
That would get away. Then they rolled 6 straight. So it is just one game, but it's one really impressive game.
Sure is.
Yardage edge after halftime. 285-92, 285 yards offense against LSU in a half.
I got to film this because I haven't seen this in a long time.
Yeah. I'll shut up so you can get the audio because that's part of it. They are full voice here. There's a long throw, and the catch is made by Brian Thomas, who escapes. And LSU is going to break the scoring streak of 31-0 with their first points after halftime, a 75-yard play.
Well, you put some backup defensive backs in the football game. Jones there, just adding the true freshman, just gets out of position. And your LSU, you like to see that they're at least keep fighting. Thomas is the guy that you thought coming into tonight, he and Jaden Daniels would get some one-on-one opportunities and a chance to make some big plays. And unfortunately for the Tigers, it comes very, very late in this game.
First touchdown pass tonight for Daniels. And 1 interception, sacked 4 times, harassed a lot. That just came about, in terms of clock time, about 20 minutes too late. This quarterback duel, these guys, as Holly alluded, the work ethic. There's so much to admire about the way they go about their business, not just what they can do on the field. We've seen their talents, we do about that, but when you hear the coaches and their teammates talk about what kind of teammates and leaders they are, and despite all the experience, still going to work every single day to get better. I really appreciate both these quarterbacks.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of times when you get all the attention, you know, it challenges that aspect of your game, and it's good to see both these guys have the maturity. Jay Daniels going to have to be that guy. They said he's really grown in that area. He's going to have to be able to look everybody in that locker room tonight and this week and get them to realize they're still, I mean, such a long way to go. You still have such a great year. It's just a disappointing setback.
They got 2 kickers in there for the onside kick. They don't execute it very well as it's fielded very easily there by Zaire Thomas. Well, here's Jordan Travis, who's thrown for 4.
Yeah, pretty big night. And, you know, there were some moments when it looked a little bit rocky early, but he continued to be able to find big receivers. Keon Coleman coming over from Michigan State had a special night. They connected. They've been working on. Holly gave you a report about how much time they've spent together over the summer. Showed you incredible ability and awareness to be able to pull that zone read on the backside, and then he got back to his arm. Because of the running game got going in the second half, they were able to open up some explosive plays. Chris brought that up on our call with Mike Norvell. One of the top teams last year in plays at 20 yards or more, number 3 in the country, and they're off to a pretty good start tonight in the first game of the year.
You wait all season, all off season, I should say, for the start of the season. You can understand why fans get euphoric and why this is such a sweet moment for Florida State. It is just one game. As you said, there's a long way to go. They're going to have to handle success and pats on the back. But there's a lot to like about the additions to an already talented roster, and Jordan Travis is getting a year better in his 6th year of football.
I just think there's something about when you go through misery like they did a couple years ago with this coach, and you got some older guys to remind people. Reminds me of some of the teams like Ed Reed's Miami. Like, when you've been through that, it keeps you focused, even though you're going to get a lot of attention. That's part of having a mature team that can help you.
It's a Seminole smackdown here in Orlando. They still have never lost in this city. 11 wins and 2 ties. Jaden Daniels was effective in the first half. They couldn't get anything going in the second half. The defense could not get a stop at all against Travis. Ends up being a 21-point game with the late LSU touchdown. Mutual respect for these 2 fine quarterbacks. And let's hear from Jordan Travis now with Holly.
Well, Jordan, there's 2 minutes left in this game. You've got a big lead, and you're putting your shoulder down, trying to get into the end zone. Why do you care so much?
I love this football team more than anything in the world. I mean, they put smiles on my face every single day I walk into the locker room. I'm so grateful for them. So grateful for these fans. So grateful for this coaching staff, this university for giving us everything. So I'll do whatever I have to do to help this team win. I said at the beginning of the year, and I'm going to do that.
Coming out of the second half, this offense was different. What changed to allow you to run the ball, get some chemistry with your wideouts?
I think we just had to get that first game nerves out of the way. I mean, I think that's all it was. Kudos to the coaching staff for, I mean, they came in with a great game plan in that second half. And the offensive line stepped up real big, and that's the main thing. It all comes down to the offensive line. They worked so hard, and I'm so grateful for them. So that was a great win, and I'm very thankful.
They were fantastic. Your chemistry with Keon Coleman, how has that developed to become what it was tonight?
He makes my job easy. We always say that. He's going to make my job easy. You see, I just throw the ball from the air, and he goes and makes a play. That kid works really hard, and he's a great person all the time and a great teammate, and I'm so grateful to have him.
For a kid who's heard the boos, heard the cheers now, what does this Game 1 win over a team like LSU mean for you personally, Jordan?
It means a lot, but we're just getting started. that's the main thing. We're just getting started, and I can't wait to see where the season goes. We're going to take it game by game. We're going to enjoy it tonight, enjoy it tomorrow, and we're going to get back to work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Considered a Heisman candidate. It's only going to grow, but he's not interested in that. And what you want from a leader is a measured, mature approach, and he has after all 23.
I mean, that's it. I mean, I don't care. I was more impressed by that interview than his performance.
It's a big statement.
I honestly, you know how long it's been since Florida State had that kind of guy leading them, not just the playmaking ability, but the maturity. How many times did he say grateful or thankful to Holly? And I think he sincerely means that. He's been through so much. It makes him appreciate these moments, but also stay hungry, stay motivated. With him driving this ship, man, keep an eye on this Knowles team all year long. It's going to be fun.
It's a core of veterans that have been through the dark times. You talked about a 5-win season a couple years ago with the additions of some really talented guys. You can't win in this sport these days without playing the portal game beautifully. Norvell has done that. Coleman, Bell, and a bunch of guys on defense contributed. This is a very strong roster, and the buzz is only going to build, so it's up to Travis and other leaders in this team to keep things under control. In the meantime, before the coach, hug everybody in sight, because you've earned it.
Yeah, I love these games. Week 1, 2 top 10 teams coming in. Both these teams think that they have a chance to compete and win their conference and maybe make a run to the playoff. And for Florida State, they picked up a ton of momentum tonight. For LSU, they go back to the drawing board still with big goals and big dreams for the year.
Sweet win for the folks in Garden and Gold, still on their feet, cheering this Florida State team. The final 45-24. Tonight's game was produced by Bill Vanell, directed by Jimmy Platt. We're grateful and thankful for our crew, all of the folks who bring you this game. 2 games in 4 nights is fun. It'll get even more fun next Saturday night in Tuscaloosa, Texas and Alabama.